Wonder Soul. Welcome everyone to another episode of Wonder Soul. This is going to be a debut of Wonder Wrestling, and you are going to hear from two awesome dudes that are very passionate about wrestling as we go over WrestleMania 40 happening this weekend in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Fross from Ghost Planet Studios and JRatt from JRatt Gaming. You can find everything that they do in the description of this episode, so I highly encourage you guys to go check that out. But we go over WrestleMania 40. We talk about the WWE as it is with certain, individuals like Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock. And we just kind of geek out for almost 3 hours. We originally recorded already. It was like a 3-hour episode, and then some audio messed up. And now they were so awesome about re-recording with me, and we were able to do that last night. So this episode is a little bit late, but I still am excited for you guys to hear it. I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. And I hope you guys enjoy WrestleMania 40. And enjoy this conversation I have with JRatt and Fross of Ghost Planet Studios. It be like that sometimes. It does.
Do be like that.
It does.
Say it don't be like it does, but it do.
But it does. It do. One of the things I was thinking about, and I'm just going to be real transparent, kind of behind the curtain with this. I was listening to a WrestleMania 40 hype video with the song My Way from Limp Bizkit or Fred Durst, and that's how I got ready for this recording. And I feel no regret. I'm going to share it with you guys at some point, and I think you'll see when you experience it. I hope you watch it before the WrestleMania. That's all I'm going to say, because it was really good. It was really good. I was this close. If I had more time, I wanted to do some kind of like music video. I was just like, it would be so easy to just find all these clips and pick some cool ass song to get you hype.
Dude, you're talking about a wrestling AMV. Oh my God.
Right? Are those a thing? I guess they are. They're
a thing. They're a whole little
that's what I watch, right? That Limp Bizkit was wrestling AMV. AMVs are cool, man.
I fell down a small rabbit hole of those sometime in the 2010s, I remember. And I was like, so wait a minute. You're telling me there are multiple pages that make like Undertaker AMV videos, dude? It's like him walking through the woods and looking back and shit. Are you kidding me with this?
It's so cinematic, though, man. It's so hype. And, it's just like with the right song. And if you got the right images, it does something. It does something.
I'll give WWE their flowers. They have been... the one thing they've always done well is like their video packages.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when like they're wrapping up a feud, like when you're coming into Mania and they play a quick video of the feud, you're fucking like, damn, that really is all I needed. Mm-hmm. You're like, I'm ready now.
The Daniel Bryan Monster
video
package before for WrestleMania 30 was like, that one still gets the hair on end a little bit.
It was so good, dude. I was there through that whole
or whatever The Rock does.
So I appreciated it, but there were people in the room who had no idea and were like, I like this hippie guy. I like this. I hope he wins. And then he did, and it was great.
I mean, it's awesome, dude. I think that's a lot of the reason why the WWE YouTube channel does well, because you can capture those important moments in a 3-minute long video instead of watching 3 hours of Raw or what? Yeah, because SmackDown's 2 hours, Raw's 3 hours, right? Okay. Yep. So yeah, I feel like it's made it easy for me to also explain things or like go, hey, I know you don't want to sit down and watch this whole thing. This is like a conversation I'll have with my girlfriend. Sometimes she's in, and most of the time I'm like, yo, I got to pause this. You got to come see this. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. But, like it's been really easy to just kind of like get into stuff like that from the YouTube channel and just YouTube in general. Like, that's what I'm saying. I was watching that. I don't know. I literally searched WrestleMania 40 hype video and it had like over 100,000 views. And I was like, I like this song. Like, I don't know. Something about it reminded me of like watching football biggest hit videos on early YouTube with POD boom, like here comes the boom, and it was like
NFL huge hits find compilation number 24.
Yeah, you got like Ray Lewis just here comes the and it's just like it give you chills, man. That's why these entrances are so exciting, man. Like and that's like I literally watched like 5 different versions of when Bad Bunny came out at Backlash here, and it was the loudest pop that I've heard of recently, and it was just so hype. Like Damian Priest was just standing out there, and then all of a sudden the whole place like just erupted.
And the way song
and then he like walks out, like the way they do these camera angles, man, it's just so it's awesome. But then he like walks back and then he grabs this cart full of freaking weapons and shit. Yeah, man, it's wild. Yeah, sorry, just wanted to bring all that stuff up. That was just on the top of my dome. But yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get into a lot of different topics today, I'm sure. Just to also peel back the curtain a little bit to anyone watching or listening. We did record already. This is our second attempt. This is too late. Take 2. 2 days later. We recorded on a Tuesday night and we went on for about 3 hours. And we talked about so much. It was so good, man. And I don't mean to say it like that, but it was just like, it was just fun. Like, I feel like with those episodes where you're just going, you lose track of time. That's when like, yeah, we're having fun. And we hope everybody else who, would listen to those kind of episodes would have fun too. But, so, had some audio issues. So here we are for kind of like a redo, but we're gonna kind of I don't know, touch on a couple different things, but
it can be like an evolution of the original conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. That was like a good test run, but man, hate when that happens, but it happens, and so that's why this episode is coming out late. If you're watching or listening to this in the like future, it doesn't even matter. None of this matters. So we're just gonna move on. So, anyways, WrestleMania 40 is like 48 hours away technically. It's gonna be Saturday night this weekend on Peacock, and we're all excited. We already went through the card in our last recording, but we're gonna bring up some, maybe some of the fights that we are the most excited for. And then some of the sleepers, stuff like that. We're just going to probably just talk about, WrestleMania 40, like everything that we can. Is there any specific match because we've already talked about them, but after thinking about after having that conversation that you guys are more excited for now than maybe you were before?
I'll tell you what, after watching some YouTube today, I didn't want to admit it, but I think this isn't a direct answer to your question, but it can lead into one. I think The Rock is doing some of the best work I've seen him doing wrestling in so long, dude. He's such a good heel right now. So
it's fun to see him invested. It's fun to see him into it.
He brought back the same cow vest from like back in the day. He kept it.
Yep.
I saw a side-by-side picture there exactly. It's incredible. I can't believe he kept that. And the dedication to it and his entrance evolving. I know we talked about that last time. It's just really... I'm
entrance,
really
man. That's super hype, dude.
It is. And Lucas, I've told you before that I'm not a big fan of Dwayne right now because of what he did to DC films.
Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam and the way he politics and destroyed that universe. But you know what? James Gunn's Superman's coming out soon, so I'm feeling better.
I'm more mad about what he did to Henry, dude. Bring him back, Superman, just for that one moment, and then
just for that one moment.
What weeks later,
just so he could elevate himself to the level of Superman by being like Superman's rival.
I hated that.
Crazy. I do, but
He didn't even want to be in Shazam, but that's a whole other episode. But yeah.
Right. I guess my point in bringing up that whole thing is that now I'm more interested in the tag match than I was. Before, I really mostly cared about Roman v. Cody. And now I'm starting to think that tag match has the potential to be really, really interesting, because I know The Rock is giving 110% right now. So will Roman, so will Seth, so will Cody. That match will probably be really good, dude. And maybe it was always gonna be, but now I'm feeling really excited for that one too.
So you guys are sold on that? You sold on that match?
Like, yeah. Look, this is The Rock. Like this is gonna be the first real match for him in what? Since
years.
Like the
Cena
feud.
Thing?
Yeah. He did like a faux match at I think the WrestleMania that's actually my background right now. But
but didn't he also tear like his
Yeah, he tore a pec for that.
Tore a pec like a meat. Yeah, right.
So like I think
he tore a pec at that WrestleMania?
Yeah, he did like a 1.5 minute match and he messed up his pec. Because you know, if you're not training for it specifically and you're using some muscles maybe you haven't used in 5-6 years. I get it. Listen, I'm old. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think he sees this is like the biggest wrestling thing he's done in a long time. A lot of fans that probably haven't actually watched him work are going to get to see him work, and he's a Hollywood guy now, but the wrestling brain in him now, I think, is really taking over, and he knows he's got to put on a show because he knows Roman's going to go. He knows Cody can go. He knows Seth can go. He doesn't want to be the weak guy there because he has the most potential to be that guy, I think, just because of his age and not doing it as much recently. So he's going to put his all into it. I think that's awesome. I think that's it's added to this. And that match is so huge for the next night too, for setting up a lot of things, I'm sure.
For sure.
Absolutely. I'm going to add on to that, and this is only speculation, but I'm starting to get the feeling that he knows his Hollywood friends will be watching too. Like I think the product's hot enough that's happened. because I was watching him do an interview with Roman today on like Fallon or something like that.
Yeah, he was. Like
and I'm like, dude, he's really putting wrestling over. This is like the third time I've seen him talk to someone who has a very 2010 and that whole era view of wrestling. Like, so you're back in wrestling now? And The Rock just breaks it down like, yes, I'm playing a heel, and there are heels and there are faces, and we do this and this and that. And by the end of the conversation, the person he's talking to goes, oh shit, that's all kind of cool. Oh, okay, so when is this WrestleMania? When is this happening? And they're sold on it. And I think this time the product is so hot. There's so many people watching. Wrestling's very mainstream right now because of WWE kind of coming back in a big way, that people he cares about are going to watch this. So I think you're right. I think he's going to try very hard to, like, his entrance. I don't know, man. They're probably going to have gotten a weather dominator to make lightning actually strike inside of the arena.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Or something like that. He's going to go all out.
It's going to be the same thing that Prince used for that one Super Bowl halftime where he controlled the rain and
it started raining.
Yeah,
and dude, oh man, that was such a cool memory.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard Cody on that MMA Hour podcast. He did an interview Wednesday, and obviously The Rock's going to get brought up, and he said, "Yeah, I don't like The Rock. Like, I genuinely do not like him." And he is a lot of things. He's like, billionaire. I'm pretty sure he's got it. I don't know if he is a billionaire. Probably not. Millionaire. But he's got a lot of shit, dude. He's doing UFL right now. He's got a lot of money. Anyways, so he's successful there. He's a movie star. He's all these things. But if you stripped all that away, who is The Rock? Like at his core, and it will always be a professional wrestler. And that's something that Cody, I think, I watched that Cody documentary too. I'm doing my homework. I got to watch actually probably tonight after we record. I'm going to watch, because don't throw tomatoes at me, you guys or anybody listening or watching, but I haven't even seen WrestleMania 39, Cody versus Roman. So I got to watch that before I watch it. That will bring so much more to the surface for me, and that's what all this has done. But
I think The Rock, man, he's dedicated, and I think he has committed to this. And I think he likes the challenge. It's been interesting to watch him balance the reality of his life now being all these other things and having like 1 minute he's posting pictures of Cody bleeding in the Chicago rain, and then the other he's like singing to a kid for Make-A-Wish. It's like, come on, like it's like
it rules.
It's kind of cool.
It kind of rules, yeah.
But it shows how talented he is, as far as like like you said, he is playing a character, in a lot of ways. But what's really cool to hear you guys who have a lot more experience and history with, this form of sports entertainment known as WWE. The thing is that they originally didn't sell us this match. It was supposed to be Rock and Roman. And people were really upset. Well, not everybody, but you guys know how the story goes. So the fact that in that short amount of time, a couple months, and with the dedication of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson showing up for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, selling out 13 consecutive, like they were able to make this tag match. Like you guys were saying, like we were all just wanting, give us Cody and Roman. Part 2, finish the story in Philly. And now we're like, dude, this is and they did it in like a couple months, and they had a whole other PLE, and they also had to pivot because of injuries, CM Punk, and they've done a fucking good job doing that too. I mean, Drew McIntyre dropping all this. I've been watching the CM Punk shit on A&W. He mentions the bakery that Drew McIntyre showed up to in a social media post, and I'm just like, huh? Oh man, I think we lost. I think we lost Fross for a minute. We'll get him back. I'll send him another invite. But yeah, so it's wild the way they've been able to, pivot and developed all of these like story threads, on top of this like huge 2-parter main event, man. Like, have you ever seen anything like that before?
I mean, there's always edits and things like that you as a company, when you're building to, crescendoing to one event like WrestleMania like this, and you hold all the cards, you're not, this isn't the UFC or anything where you kind of gotta pray that this guy wins enough matches to make this a big deal, right?
Right.
Like here, you get to kind of, you get to play it out how you want to play it out. It's like I think I said this in the last podcast. It's like with the Rock thing, they started and they kind of tripped, and instead of falling on their face, they did a parkour barrel roll and then did a front flip. And
some Spider-Man type shit.
Did a gainer or whatever. Like
great
just sick stuff, and you gotta hand it to him. I mean, we talked a lot about what Vince booking would have looked like, and it's nice to see them make these kind of calls, because it's not even like they were booked into a corner or anything,
right?
But it's been a whale of a build. I don't know that there's been a build this strong.
Do you think it's overbooked?
Really,
do you think it's a little overbooked? No.
I think they could overbook it more. I think they could overbook
honestly,
it
yeah,
more. Yeah. Like as long as they do it in the right directions. And I agree with you, JRatt. I don't think there's been. I mean, listen, man. I get it. The Attitude Era was an awesome time, but I saw someone say the other day that you forget a lot of the crap that was involved. And dude, there were weeks I tuned in, nothing was fucking going on, or it was some cowboy shit, and I couldn't make sense of what was happening. And there were times I tuned in and it was Austin Rock or Taker and Kane. It was really cool, but that wasn't every night. So I'm not, those days were great, but rose-tinted glasses. Saying that to say, this build we're getting now, it's a couple years in the making. It's been continuous, consistent updates to this storyline. Everyone who's gotten involved has been made a star.
Yeah.
Everybody this storyline touched. It made them. Solo Sikoa's got a great singles career waiting for him on the other side of this. So does Jimmy or Jay.
Yeah,
I can't believe they accomplished that. And they did all of this in the same storyline. This storyline is going to, for the kids watching right now, who have been watching since the start of the Bloodline storyline, this is going to make a generation of stars to them.
Yeah.
And it's given Roman a Hall of Fame worthy career. Legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
There are people calling him the GOAT, and I don't know about all that shit, dude. Okay. But
it's definitely an argument, though.
It's
right?
an argument,
like,
though.
yeah.
Like, he's in the conversation. Like, damn, dude. He's on getting on par with Cena real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
but can I just interject real quick about Roman? Like, you guys were talking about, somebody brought up being in shape for these matches. The Rock, talking about The Rock, he hasn't done this, and this is different. Well, that also applies to Roman, right? Because Roman hasn't been in a lot of matches, and I even heard Cody mention this on the MMA Hour podcast. He said, why he feels confident is because he was at my house show. Like, I mean, he's there all the time. He has been putting in a lot of work. He's been carrying. I think that he's in that wrestling shape too. And that's something I worry about with Roman, especially then you throw him in a tag match. Like, how are you going to balance out these moments, right? How is everybody going to get their fair share? I mean, I know Roman and Seth have a history. They've worked together. So it's not going to be like
having a history is a that sentence
right?
is doing some crazy lifting there.
They have a hell of a history, bro. Oh man.
I mean, it's funny because I watched the Roman doc and then I watched the Cody, and the Cody was last year before WrestleMania 39.
Let me ask you a question though. Is there a Shield documentary? Did you see one around there?
The only time I saw Shield get mentioned is in the Roman. And then also, I've been watching this dude on YouTube, and I should let me look him up. But anyways, he does like retrospectives, and he was talking about NXT and like how, and so like talking about the black and gold brand and stuff. And when Dusty was there and like who came out of it and what they were doing there and all this stuff. And then Seth was like the first one to win a championship there. And it's like this whole thing, like, you guys told me the other night that Seth was one of the best things that came out of NXT, right? Like,
probably the best,
or like,
up there.
So, oh man, I forgot what I was even going to look up. That guy's YouTube channel. Sorry, guys, I'm multitasking.
Yeah, it was Shield stuff. Well, it's just the main reason there probably isn't a lot of Shield stuff on WWE is because Dean Ambrose is currently Jon Moxley in a different promotion, and they're weird about that. Yeah, they're weird about that. They probably, for all I know, they might not have the rights to show his likeness with him not there. I don't know, but
I don't know about that. But I just think like they don't want to make this about the Shield at all necessarily, so they're not going to do anything with that.
But why isn't there a Shield like documentary or something floating around out there from years ago? You'd think there'd be one.
You really think so?
I would think there would be one. The Shield was a huge deal if you were watching around.
That was a massive deal, yeah.
Yeah, they were a big deal, dude. I almost bought merch. I didn't do that, but I came pretty close.
The channel is Super Kick Studios on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I just had to do that. Really good stuff, dude. Like the one he has pinned here is The Rise of John Cena, 2002 through 2022, full career retrospective. Does a good job with it. So, it's fun.
I lived those years. It's like my damn, dude. It's like my Vietnam, dude.
Man, yeah. I mean, I think it's just wild that, like, you guys were talking about Vince not being involved, and this is the first WrestleMania that Vince McMahon has not partaked in, right? Like, has he done them all or a large majority?
He might have been out for like
the last one and maybe the one before.
Yeah, I don't know.
When was he ousted?
Because I feel like when he was ousted the first time, he was still kind of pulling strings.
He was because he had, what was it, Bruce?
He still had the majority stake.
In
the company, so he always had a hand, I think. But now it's like gone.
Yeah, and that's what Rhonda was saying. Rhonda was saying that during the years he first seemed like he was out of the company, he had someone sitting in the meetings who was just the avatar of his will anyway, so he was still heavily involved. So this might be maybe the second one that he's not involved in. I think it's the first one that Triple H has had probably full creative control of.
Mhm.
And considering some of his entrances at WrestleMania with the Motorhead blasting, I expect everyone. I think I said this when we recorded last time. I expect the entrances to be crazy for just everybody.
Just no dry ice. No dry ice.
Yeah, no, burn Taker again. Yeah, like I don't think any entrance is going to be lacking at all. It's going to be crazy fire in that department.
Especially with this Endeavor money, you gotta.
Come on, products red hot.
So, when it comes to WrestleMania 40, it's supposed to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. That, of course, they say that about everything. Every time you're going to release
40th time that's happened. That's crazy.
I know. Yeah. It's like they do it all the time. Like,
one time they told me I'd see something once in a lifetime, and the next year they told me it was twice in a lifetime with no irony. They looked us dead in the eye and did that shit.
Yeah, they sure did.
I don't think I ever got an opportunity to ask you guys, but besides 40, because it's going to be your next favorite, what is a WrestleMania that you consider your favorite? And you guys can take some time to think that out, man. No rush.
Well, I might need JRatt's help remembering which one, the one where the end of an era. Say end of an era when Taker and fought Triple H with Shawn Michaels as special guest referee. That's
that. I want to say that was like
28 or something like that.
7 or 28.
Yeah, something like that, dude. Way far back there, but God, man, that was just that was like my favorite wrestling match for a long, long time, dude. That may be my favorite one.
Wow.
I think I would probably say 30. The whole Daniel Bryan thing. I think.
Oh, it's 30 Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, 30.
Ooh.
That one's tough for me to walk or to put anything over it. It just
didn't he have Triple H that night and then Randy and Batista at the same time later? Ooh.
Yeah, that was such a Listen, they could not have stumbled into that storyline any harder, but they did, and it worked.
That was good, dude. That's like my number 2. I've been convinced.
Yeah, it's really good. I will always love. Also, not that it's my favorite Mania, but I think my favorite Mania moment might be the heist of the century.
So good.
Really? When Seth
Passion.
Why?
Because that we were mere moments away from Armageddon, from the thing we didn't want the most, and we already hated the fact that it was Roman and Brock, and just nobody wanted Roman winning that.
Brock was getting cheered.
Brock was getting cheered, and that was not what they wanted.
No.
And it was it kind of just you're watching the match and you're like, man, this feels hopeless and not fun. No one's gonna be happy at the end of this WrestleMania. And then you hear that music hit, and he comes sprinting down that ramp in
the black and gold, dude.
Oh my God! And
in
that
the black and gold
went bananas.
That's when he had the gold streak in his hair, and he was Super Saiyan. I swear, man. I swear he was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Does he like anime? Does he watch anime?
I don't know if he ever has
anime, but I know he came out. I think it was WrestleMania 33. He came out as a White Walker from Game of Thrones. That
Game
was
of Thrones. What,
dude? For me, favorite Seth Rollins outfit ever is whenever he wore that white outfit with the gold. Oh my God, dude! What did I call it? I called it White Power Ranger Rollins.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dude, he looked so cool, and he had the gold streak in his hair. That's the Seth I need. We were talking about this last time too. That's the Seth I need, not this Cruella DeVille shit he's doing every night on my TV, dude. I need White Ranger Rollins back.
Monday Night Rollins.
Monday Night Messiah, dude.
Absolutely.
Rollins was so cool.
I heard The Rock last night on Jimmy Fallon say that he's he was like, Cody Rhodes is Luke Skywalker, and I was like,
yep,
yeah, he is. It's a good comparison.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the typical hero's journey in some ways, sure, and
because he won't do anything dishonorable. I noticed that too.
Right. I know a lot of people like to just jump to Captain America and stuff like that. I get that, the whole American Nightmare flag stuff. Yeah, I get that. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, Luke, that tracks. And then
He
he
made
went
a
ahead and
Homelander reference the other night.
he did.
Mhm.
People were like, "Oh shit, Cody's about to go all freaking." I heard they have a nickname for it. They don't just call him Homelander. It's like some kind of mashup of his name or something. But
Oh, I don't know, but I've heard him say it. He straight up said, "You're about to make me go Homelander" or something.
that would
Good
be
pop.
fun. That'd
Good
be
pop
cool.
when he said it.
I wonder if he will get ruthless. Oh god, that's the whole thing. I
That'd
don't
be
know
a
if
cool place for his character to go.
I think that's it, man. I think those are some of the things that we could talk about in this episode is just like what are your predictions for post-Mania? Like what do you think the direction is for Cody Rhodes if he does finish the story, you know?
Mhm.
I also heard that guy say that he hates that tagline and that Michael Cole was the one that I guess said it first and it just kind of caught on.
That tracks.
Yeah, but it's like Bob Ross couldn't get a haircut, right?
Everybody hates the song that made him famous. They want you to listen to all the other stuff.
I heard
It's crazy.
Yeah.
JRatt, you know what's wild is they have done that. They've literally finished the story more than people have pointed at the WrestleMania sign. I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, no, actually.
They really have. They've because Lucas, the thing, it was a meme for years that Vince had everyone point at that damn sign all the way up to the event. Literally, it'd be like, are you cutting a promo? Is it WrestleMania season? Okay, well, you need to work in when I fight so and so at points to sign WrestleMania.
Yeah,
let crowd cheer. Everyone had to do it, but they've finished the story way more than that. They got mid-carders talking about finishing their story. It's like, what story?
I cackled at there's a TikTok that it's like a New Day thing, and Kofi comes on. Yo, I'm gonna finish the story. Is anybody else doing that?
It's like Kofi. We already had Kofi Mania, bro. And I hate to say this because I was in your corner for a long time, but I was not convinced, man. I was not convinced during Kofi Mania at all.
No,
no, dude. Listen, I was really happy for him, just like I was happy for Big E when he won gold. But Kofi, I think, man, I hate to say this because he's such a cool guy. I think his prime days were when he was doing the Jamaican Me Crazy stuff, not gimmick wise.
Sure.
I think physically that's when he was at his best. And when they finally put gold on him, he was kind of a Miz style worker where he worked so safe and he was such a well-oiled machine that I didn't buy his offense for shit. Like he'd land the Trouble in Paradise and I'm like, dude, come on. You got to switch it up and do a pile driver or something. I saw that didn't connect. What are you doing? You gonna beat Brock Lesnar with that? No, dude, I don't buy it. So as soon as Brock set his eyes on Kofi, I'm like, oh well, this is over. This is done. And then Brock destroyed him. And it's like, I don't know, man. I didn't buy the Kofi Mania, but
I'm still glad he had it though.
Can I ask you something, JRatt? And this is kind of controversial. I haven't gotten to talk to this about anyone else. I understand. So we all appreciate the Miz. Can I say that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. We all respect the Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think I know where this is going, but keep going.
Okay. Good. Lucas. Okay. Listen. I like where Lucas's face is. All right. I'm willing to admit he's been here a long time. I saw his promo that he cut on Daniel Bryan when he went off, and he argued that he's done a lot of good for the industry, and I agree with everything he said about himself. That said, holy shit, keep gold away from that man. He is like the most boring wrestler, dude. His offense is so pillow soft and safe. And I get he acknowledges that, but I think every match with him, like, because I'm watching him in The Awesome Truth, right? Mm-hmm. And Ron Killings is still really impressive for 52.
Still going.
I think.
Still going.
Right. And so not only is he impressive, but he's still very entertaining to watch. I think that R-Truth is more entertaining to watch than some New Day matches. Because he has a higher level of athleticism than they do. And the Miz, man, when it comes to athleticism and like believable offense, he's so far down the card for me. Like he's towards the very bottom. Like I don't buy anything he does. Lucas, how do you feel about the Miz? I saw you shaking your head over there.
I don't care for him. I mean, like not.
Do you see any appeal at all?
No, not for real, man. I mean, I think he's probably a good guy. You know, I heard he was a reality star before the WWE. which I mean, technically a WWE superstar can be considered a reality star, sort of, kind of, maybe. That's up for debate.
Can I post something to you and see if you agree or not?
About The Miz?
About The Miz, and JRatt, you too. I want to see what you guys think about this.
Okay.
Logan Paul is everything The Miz is, and he's better already and will be better. Logan Paul is a better Miz. Miz walks so Logan Paul could run. What do you think?
I can get behind that. I can.
Miz was a reality star in the 2000s when that was gauche. Logan Paul is an internet celebrity today. I'm just saying.
I'm not a Miz hater by any stretch of the imagination. And like, I think WWE has a problem in a lot, or at least for a long time has had a problem with everybody kind of does the WWE match. And like, yeah, he's the, I dare I say the poster child for it.
Poster child. Exactly.
Right. But like, I don't know. I think there's absolutely room for someone like him who, he's kind of willing to do any of the comedy stuff. He's good with the comedy stuff. He's great at being a heel. He has been for a long time. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Does he entertain you?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. Not like he used to. I'm not going to say right now it's the same thing, because the problem for him is he's hit this point in his career where he's been doing it long enough that it's harder to hate him. It's harder for him to like really have the heel heat that he maybe once did, because you appreciate his longevity, you appreciate his extremely hot wife who just got over cancer too, which is which is a thing. Like, so it's gonna be really hard to like make him a heel, like a real heel again.
Yeah, true.
So true. I think obviously is he past his prime? Yes. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think there's a place for him in that card. There's a place for him somewhere. Not as high as it maybe once was. Yeah, the titles, I don't know that I really need him to have a title at this point.
But
I don't think he's a bad thing to have around.
Here's what's driving me crazy, dude. Listen, man, and I said this in the last show we recorded. I'm no Logan Paul fan. I'm really not. Sure. But I'm watching more tape on this guy today, and I'm like, damn it, how is he so? His buckshot lariat is flawless. It is a perfect. I mean,
he's athletic as hell.
Perfect slingshot lariat. It is better than dudes who've been doing this 20 years. I don't know how the hell he can do that. And when I think about how naturally he gets heat from the audience with everything he does, I watch a clip of his podcast. I'm like, I hate him so much. He had Mike Tyson on his podcast. I was watching this clip today. It was Mike Tyson watching a guy punch a kangaroo, and he managed in like a minute and 20 seconds to make me hate him in that clip, because his co-host wouldn't stop talking over Mike Tyson as Mike was genuinely reacting to the hit. I'm like, I don't even know dude, I'm not watching this for you. He did it that quickly. He's that much of a heel. And I'm just like, man, how can a guy like Logan Paul be so good so quickly? And it just shines a light on guys like Miz for me. Because I'm like, Miz, what do you do exactly? Because Logan Paul is more athletic than you, and that's no question. I'm not knocking him for that. It's just an apparent thing. But I make the comparisons because of in how many ways they're similar in like the roles they're in as wrestlers within the company. And I really do see Logan walking in the footsteps of Miz, almost like a Miz 2.0. And that kind of made me wonder about the Miz's legacy a bit and how you guys see him. And I mean, he's in a match at WrestleMania. I don't think him and Truth win that match. I don't know if I remember you guys weighing in on that.
Yeah, I don't think either of us picked that.
I don't see that happening.
I don't think Logan Paul doing or like kind of walking the same path as the Miz. I don't think that's necessarily a detriment to the Miz. Like, he's done his work. He's done his job. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Again,
he has, but JRatt, I ask you, I struggle to think of like what is a good Miz match, because we can both think of so many great matches right off the top of our heads. But dude, I'm racking my brain. I'm like, what is a great Miz match he had? Because the one with Daniel Bryan was good, but dude, that's Daniel Bryan. He'd drag a broomstick to a good match. So can you think of any?
If I were to, there's been a couple with like in his many feuds with like Dolph Ziggler that I think he's had some good ones. And again, Ziggler's a guy who can go.
Yeah, Ziggler's a guy who can go because Nick Namath is going right now.
Right. That's not the stuff that I'm going to remember The Miz for. What I'm going to remember The Miz for is stuff like him and Maurice parodying John Cena and Nikki Bella. That shit was so funny. And like,
it was pretty good, dude.
Extremely entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And he's got plenty of things like that throughout his career that I think, sure, it's not the stuff that's in the ring necessarily, but I am a big proponent of, this is just like a sports thing in general, but like, I always hate the concept of like having to constantly compare the numbers of different Hall of Famers to current players, because I genuinely do not think that should just be a part of the equation. You know, if you make other contributions to a sport, that should, weigh something as well. And like, that's what The Miz does. He does a lot of other things, I think, that listen, you can say what you want about the Marine movies, but like, The Miz has done a lot of stuff like that.
I mean, he's a phenomenal brand ambassador.
Yeah, exactly.
Really tremendous.
That's a perfect way to put it. Like, he's great for the company, and I think that I don't think you can just throw that away because he's not a great wrestler.
Okay, I'll say, Lucas, the period that just flashed on screen just now, where this period of Miz right here, I did genuinely think he was pretty cool right about there, because these were shades of 2000s Edge, and dude, I was all about some rated R superstar back in the day. I was the only one of my friends who loved Edge like that, and so when Miz came out in the black jackets with sort of a punk thing going on, I did like that stage. Is that Alex Riley back there?
Yeah, it was.
Dude, I tried to get my friend into wrestling while the feud was going on with Alex Riley, and it was a night where they were both wearing suits and they started beating each other up and ripping off the suits. And he just turned to me and he is like, "This is the most homoerotic thing you've ever shown to me. Is it always like this? They're ripping each other's clothes off." And I'm like, no, listen.
Wait. There's more.
They're going to fight of this, I swear. And he's like, really? Because they're just pulling clothes off right now.
Remember the Miz and the Damien Mizdow stuff? That was so great. Obviously, a lot of that is Sandow, but like, that was fun. I loved that.
I miss Sandow. I mean, he honestly, you know what? Maybe he'd do better right now in this kind of Attitude Era-esque climate where there can be some comedy stuff floating around, because Truth is flourishing in a way I never would have expected. Because, dude, Truth was funny during the darkest stages, like when he was doing the little Jimmy stuff. And I remember when he had a match with John Cena, and because he got tired, he stopped and had a bottle of water and lit a cigarette and blew it on him for heat with the crowd.
What?
And the crowd hated it so much, dude. That was so funny. He's hilarious. JRatt, do you remember when there was a ladder match? No. It was the next night. And there was a match going on, and R-Truth ran out with a ladder.
It was the Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. There we go. Climbed all the way to the top of it, reached up and realized there was nothing up there.
My bad.
Oh, dude, he's good.
Oh, yeah.
He's flourishing right now, so maybe Damien Sandow could. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know where he is.
I think he's working in NWA.
Really? Okay.
I could be mistaken there, but I think that's where he's at.
Who knows?
Who?
Sure.
Damien Sandow.
He's been gone a while.
He did this gimmick, Wonder, where he was paired with The Miz, and he would come out. He was The Miz's stunt double.
Yeah.
And he would come out with The Miz and imitate his every move, even take the bumps that Miz was taking.
Outside of the ring, dude. So he'd like pratfall and shit like that. He put himself in headlocks.
Unbelievably funny.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I kind of liked R-Truth back here because, he was like Booker. He was like another shade of Booker T or something.
Sure. I see what you're saying.
Right, dude. And I really liked Booker in his prime Booker T. With the spinneroonie, the scissor kick, that was a cool guy. And so Truth, with how athletic he was even then, he was really over with me. But And I love
just
go ahead.
Love truth.
well, no, it just kind of shows like how characters in these like careers change over time, man. Like there's
Sure.
the highs and lows, and then it's also just kind of I don't know. It's like the equivalent of whose Batman is yours, you know, as far as like when there's certain points you could start watching John Cena or The Undertaker and you would get different versions, maybe even completely different characters. Like when I was watching that Cody documentary and it was him going through like, you know, the dashing Cody Rhodes, and then he did Stardust or whatever, and just seeing like how, I mean, if you're adaptable, but then it's also nice to just like, you can change it up and do something that you like. And I think that's what people like about R-Truth right now, is that he's just having fun, man. Like, but he's still super, super duper talented. I mean, when he's out there in the ring, the crowd reacts, not only because he's just, you know, he's been out there, the people might probably have a history or connection with him throughout the years, but like, man, he brings a lot to the table. So,
and he's gotten over a lot of personal adversity as well. He's from a very dangerous, rough area, and you know, it's kind of inspirational, man. It's kind of inspirational. I'm just sitting here watching him with Kofi, and it's like, you know what, man? Legitimately, and I know we say this about some wrestlers because it's obvious, but this is one that kind of just came to me in this moment. He's had a Hall of Famer career. He really has.
I see him. I see him getting like it might not be right away, but I see him getting in the Hall of Fame.
For sure, dude. Because just the longevity alone, like he's still getting his gimmick over. It's been like 20 years, dude. Because that's the thing about like people like Mark Henry. You don't remember just how long they've been in the WWE, dude. Like Mark Henry was around in the 80s. And then in the 2000s, he had that whole Hall of Pain period towards like the late 2000s. And most people our age.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Henry, world's strongest man. That was, again, one of those dudes that was always kind of around. And wasn't he... Was he one of the was he in the Nation of Domination? Back in the day, Mark Henry? I feel like at some point he was. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, like, and then in the mid to late 2000s, Mark Henry translated into like a new extreme type character. He's just beating people up, dude.
It was very large.
He's very large. I think that was around the time they brought back ECW for the One Night Stand. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Bailey came into the room and just started making a bunch of noise and stuff. Like she just couldn't help it. Like it's like when you try to be really quiet and then you do the complete opposite.
Just cashing in the money in the bank on your hosting duties.
That's the high school. Bam!
Smoke some.
So guys, I got a couple questions. Okay.
Do it.
Got a couple questions. I know The Rock is going to go off and he's going to do some movies. I think he's actually got one right after Mania. So I've heard that he said he's not taking himself completely out of the picture. He's still going to be very much involved. This is what he was talking about today. Where do you see the involvement of The Rock? Do you think this is a long-term thing right now? Do you think this is just for WrestleMania 40?
I see SummerSlam as a thing too.
Okay.
I don't know that you like totally dissolve his piece of the bloodline right then and there. Now I don't know if that means it's going to be, you know, Cody at SummerSlam, or if it's going to be, or if they'll give us the Rock and Roman match there. But I can see that kind of being a thing. That'll be like right after. I mean, that'll be, you know, well enough after the UFL season is done. God knows he'll have a movie to promote. I'm sure.
I know, man.
So yeah, I think that's probably about, like, I can see that being maybe. I mean, next Mania too, I'm sure he can have a hand in as well. But I can see him doing SummerSlam.
I can see him right now, because look, I think Black Adam. We were joking about it earlier, but I think Black Adam kind of fucked up Dwayne, because he was so excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
He just was, and it didn't pan out the way it didn't connect with the fans. There's other things there, but
I get mad just thinking about what you're talking about, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think that he probably has rediscovered his passion with wrestling lately. We talked about his dedication. We talked about how much he's, it seems like he's enjoying going heel, and just, and people are starting to turn around for it. They're for it. So I don't know if, I think, like, I guess it has to be over after he at least gets that fight with Roman. And since he's not getting it now, do you think that we will get some kind of twist this weekend where it sets up that fight? Like, how do they fight after this whole bloodline family? Hey, I got your back. Cool. Everything's great. But, like, what do you think? What will be the motivation for The Rock versus Roman, if that is the end goal for The Rock?
I think it'll be the end goal for them. And I actually think they've set that up for themselves pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
There was like 5 minutes there where I was conspiracy theorying myself down a rabbit hole to say, like, oh, the Rock is gonna, like, turn on Roman or something, and I don't really think that now.
I've heard that.
I think they could do a thing where, like, maybe on night 2, like, I don't know, Roman does, like, he's going to finish Cody and he spears The Rock instead or something. And it, like, turns everything around. It, accidental thing, but now, machismo gets in the way and they get mad. Like wrestling does.
Yeah.
And, you could lay the seeds there for something like that. And I can see, like, maybe The Rock making an appearance or two here and there, like for Money in the Bank. I can see him maybe, like, doing a program where he's involved, maybe not like wrestling, but he's around for something. Maybe like guest referee something. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, him being on the board with TKO, he will be involved and know what's going on to a certain extent. Like, whether he will physically be able to make those appearances. Like, even today, like, he was 2 hours late to WWE World, and people were getting pissed, man. They were getting pissed. But it almost played into what he's doing.
Was he late today?
Yeah, dude, he was, like, over 2 hours. Like, it was supposed to start at 4, and then he, like, came out and he said, "You know why The Rock was late?" And then he went on to, like, say that he was.
He said because he was watching Jalen Hurts lose.
Yeah.
That's
like,
okay.
Come on, man.
Instantly,
that crowd was like, "Boo!"
He's great. He's the great one. He's a great one. The boys in the back aren't going to like that, though. Anyway.
Yeah.
They were already kind of upset with him because now everyone's doing it, I think. They were already kind of upset with him because he swears so much in the promos. And they felt like they didn't get to do that. Like, The Rock gets to do that. But CM Punk even addressed that on that MMA interview he did. He said, some people are big mega stars and get to break the rules and be late.
Yeah.
Well, so with that being said, it's going to be the next couple of years are going to be interesting because you do have this huge, monstrous move of Raw going over to Netflix. Like, more details are coming out about that. Like, Netflix was kind of like, meh, and then they got him. They sent some people. They said, look, hey, let's sit down, happen real quick. Because they were kind of like, we don't know if we want to get into the live, scene.
And Triple H said, "Here, watch this Bloodline video package we made.
Watch how much money I'm about to make you, all the time, round trip." So when we look ahead to WrestleMania 41, now a lot of things depend on this weekend, obviously, because I feel like we enter Act 2, or it's like the next phase. Like, things will change. We might have a handful of new champions. I know we will, guaranteed. If Cody wins, we get 2 new tag champions. Money in the Bank, possibly. Drew McIntyre. You have like a changing of the guard completely at 40, but then you also have this. There's going to be a small period of time that Raw is going to be on Netflix before WrestleMania 41. So how does the storytelling go? Are they planting the seeds for the direction they want to build up to? Like, can you see a darker, like, kind of approach, a more mature approach as we start to go through the year after this weekend? Like, that bloodline falling apart could get real dark, man. Like, I'm thinking like shit could get really bad. Like, I don't know. Especially with like what they won't be as limited and censored like they are in cable networks like a USA.
Good.
But you also have SmackDown and NXT that are still out there so as an ecosystem. I mean, you got the Badlands, I guess. You got like does Raw just go in that direction? Like, it's a loaded question. I'm just throwing shit out.
No, you're good. I don't think it's going to change that drastically.
Yeah.
Really. Maybe they'll do a little more blood. Maybe they'll do a little more. Maybe they'll get to say stupid on television. They get to say a little swear word here and there. But like, I don't think it's going to get. I don't think you're good. They're not going to start trying to produce, Netflix series here. There's a brand you're still maintaining, and I don't think like completely changing how you do this for Netflix is the play.
Right.
Because I don't think it works really. I don't think it works great if like you have this Raw show that gets to do all of these things, and then you have SmackDown be, I'm sorry, the kids show.
Yeah, like PG land.
And I don't think you want to do that because, I don't think the workers want that. I don't think, there's plenty of people working in that company that I think would be real pissed off if they had to be put on the kids show because they're not going to be as popular. Tough break. And I think it. I don't want to say it alienates fans, but like you're already moving off of traditional television to Netflix. If you're going to change the product too, I don't know if that's going to fly for a lot of. I think it's going to hurt them if they do that hard there. Can you do it like long term? Maybe, but I don't think it's going to change that much. At least from like an overall how the production and how they tell stories go.
Right. What do you think, Fross?
I kind of agree. I mean, I don't think they're going to change up too much about it. I don't think it would be smart to change up too much about it. Honestly, everything they're doing right now, at about the intensity they're doing it right now, is kind of it. I feel like that's perfect. They're straddling a fine line between what's acceptable on a network television and what's not. And I don't, other than a couple more F-bombs here and there, a little more spicy language, I don't really see what more they need to add. It's already like we've talked about getting just in the way the promos are going down, backstage beatdowns, things like that. It's already pretty close to what Attitude Era was, but with honestly more cohesive storytelling. The more I was thinking about it today, the more I realized a lot of mid-card guys do have storylines and things going on. Chad Gable and Sami Zayn. Chad Gable's not even in the match, but he has a storyline coming out of it because he helped Sami train for it. And so now he's tied to it. And it's all pretty big brain stuff. So I don't think they need to do any much different or get dark and get that going into Netflix. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, Chad Gable and Otis, or I don't know if you guys have seen it, are on commercials now. They're on commercials for cricket. They do the chair phone.
And LA Knight's the new Slim Jim guy.
Is he really?
Yeah. I saw him today.
That makes a lot of sense.
And you know what I love? They still put the Macho Man. They still put the Macho Man up there.
As your resident Macho Man historian, I approve.
That's good stuff, man.
Dude, Frost, do you know that about JRatt? Like,
I didn't. What?
I don't know if we've ever like
half of my Twitch gimmick is just Macho Man.
You literally have
I like the sound of that.
Like how Ken says his job is just beach. Like my gimmick is just Macho Man.
Nice. Well, you know what they say: the cream rises to the top.
Ooh, yeah.
The cream.
I used to stream with like the sunglasses that
That's
had
awesome.
like different designs on them.
Dude, I love it.
It started hurting my head. I couldn't do it.
Is that why you
long.
stopped? I didn't want to come off as creepy when you're like, I noticed that you're not wearing your glasses anymore.
Yeah,
but it's like kind of
doing it wearing headphones and everything. It just like it started not being. It was harder to enjoy the games.
Yeah,
when I've got the like red and yellow stripes doing this in front of my face.
Could you see very well?
It was hard. I did have ones that said JRatt across the front.
Those are cool.
I prized.
Have any of you guys ever met any of the wrestlers?
Not really. I'm not I've never really been like I gotta go, find the truck or like, get to where they're at.
Absolutely. Neither have I.
I did. I met some AEW guys.
That's pretty cool.
When they did the Revolution pay-per-view right before COVID happened.
Nice.
We went down to that show in Chicago, and they were like at the convention that was going on that whole weekend.
Did you meet Kenny or Darby or something?
No, we met. We were at the panel with the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. I was there.
Okay.
I was there when he was at the panel, like right after he got the neck tattoo.
Oh,
and
God.
He showed up to the panel with a scarf on, like real thick scarf all over.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I know it's Chicago in February, but like,
What
brother,
are you
we're
doing?
inside. Get that off. And then the next night he shows up with this giant logo on his neck.
I know. That's so crazy. I mean, I haven't met any of them either, but I've had close encounters with two of them. I'm gonna freaking dox myself. I'll just say I live not far from Adam Copeland, actually, to the point where I've considered going to knock on his door or something to get an interview from him. I really did consider that multiple times, but I went to a water park once, and because these guys also lived nearby, Jeff Hardy showed up. But so everyone's in the wave pool, and they go, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have WWE's Jeff Hardy here to do a swan dive off the end of the tube." Everyone's like, "What? Woo!" Like we're looking down, and dude, I can barely see this guy, but it does look like Jeff. I mean, he's got one of those mesh tops
The
on,
mesh
dude.
top.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that looks like
Love
Jeff
that.
Hardy. I was there with my cousin, and yeah, like he dove into the pool, and I'll never forget this, dude. He was in and out. He jumped in and climbed up that ladder so damn fast, and they're like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Hardy." Just a smattering of applause.
Dude, I
like,
watched this thing about Jeff Hardy, dude, about when he botched this thing against Sting.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Victory Road.
Bro,
Yeah.
what the? That's
Botches.
What do you like? What did you gather from that? I just want to know.
So I literally, dude, this is how deep I'm here, man. I'm here, guys. I'm trying. I'm catching up. So I watched one of those retrospectives about it was basically the downfall of Jeff Hardy, right?
Yeah.
And was talking about how he came out and he was obviously intoxicated to some extent, and the ref does this X, which is like, yo, they're not good to go. That's like the signal, like, nah. Sting comes out, and then the commissioner, GM, or whoever was running this was TNA, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he comes down. He's like, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. And he comes in, and he just on the spot. They said that he was like, they didn't know what they were gonna do, and he's like, fuck it, I just got to do something. So he just off the top of his dome freestyled his way out of that situation. He goes in the ring. He goes up to Jeff. He like, hey, and he pulls him in. He's like, hey, just let it happen, man. All right, cool. All right, goes up to Sting, and he's like, hey, just pin him real quick. We're gonna get this shit over. And he changed it to what, a new no DQ.
Right.
Because so that in case Jeff were to do something stupid, like, it was just, they had an out. So it made sense in the situation and also story wise. So a lot of people were in the comments very much paying their respects to that moment. Cause that, man, you gotta you got to do something quick. And so, yeah, like Sting like pins him real quick, and Jeff's like, whoa, gets up like confused, like what the hell was that? And and then Sting walks up the walkway. Some fans were like, that's bullshit, or this is, and he's like, I know, yeah. He was pissed, I heard.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is a part of Jeff Hardy that I don't think can ever be dissociated from him, is not just that night, but unfortunately the substance abuse problems he's had. You pray for it to get better, but it's a tough road. It's a tough road. And unfortunately it had to come out in the ring on that night where he came out drugged out of his mind.
They said he just like disappeared for a while and came back right in time for the fucking fight, and then like, oh shit, this dude's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, but then years later, the Hardy brothers come, don't they do a guest surprise appearance at a WrestleMania like later after that? Like, dude, he was given so many opportunities because of how talented. It's like, dude, we want to help you, man. And
fans love him. Fans love Jeff Hardy.
That's sad, man. That's sad. It is like, even listen, there is like, and I don't mean to get all down and stuff, but it is like, once you start to peel back the curtain to wrestling and some of these like stories, I mean, even like Dusty, how they went broke there for a minute, and how he had to go do car commercials, truck commercials, and it wasn't to make money. It was just so he could keep his truck. Like, but then, isn't that crazy, man? It's just wild. Like that lifestyle. Like, I watched the documentary on Netflix. If you guys have not watched it, I highly suggest this to anyone listening or watching. But if you guys haven't seen, it's just called Wrestlers, and it's about OVW, like currently, like more recently. And wow, 8 episodes. So that did so much for me to stay into it. Me and Bailey watched it, and we loved it, and it helped like us kind of see like wrestling at that level from that perspective. Not just saying, hey, yo, watch Stone Cold versus Triple H or some shit, I don't know, The Rock, or watching these matches and watching those things. It was like go behind the scenes a little bit and see the lifestyle. And one of the things that the guy that runs it, and I hate that I don't remember his name right now, because he was also a wrestler that brought out like a mannequin head and shit, man.
Al Snow.
Al Snow, yeah. Al Snow was running LVW, and but he just was talking about how like it's such a unique type of person that would want to do that. So even though you see The Rock and these people like Cody and stuff, like, you wonder what they would have done if it wasn't for wrestling. Like, it's definitely a unique life for them, and it does come with its fair share of challenges. Like, it's like anything. These people are trying to make it. People on NXT want to be the next Seth freaking Rollins. They want to be the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. They want to be the next John Cena. And it's just like anything. And we know from like a content creator landscape, like there is like this top of the mountain peak that you want to put your all in to do and to reach, but it's not always going to happen. And that's like a lot of time and energy. Like, for at least some of these people, even at OVW in this documentary, they were struggling to pay their bills. They were like, yeah, we're not really getting paid, but I love this shit. Like, this is, it'd be great to make money, but I do it because I love it. I can't see myself doing anything else. And that was like, I don't know, man. What, like,
that's
go ahead.
Really consistent thing. That's a really consistent thing with a lot of wrestlers. I went through a period where I was looking into just some of the backstories of my favorite guys, like Edge and people like him and what they did when they broke in. And it's always the most Karate Kid one shit you've ever heard in your life, dude. Edge is like, yeah, I used to sleep in my car, and then I like drove to Shawn Michaels' shop, and he wasn't there for 3 days, so I slept outside there for 3 days, and one day he was there and trained me. And it's always some shit like that.
Why dude. Does it have to be like that? Like, every time you hear about any kind of success story, it's just like, it starts off hella rough. It's so bad. Like, why do you think people resonate with the Cody Rhodes finish your story? Like, why do you think people resonate with that? Do they see a little bit of themselves in that? Like, finish the story means like to finish what you set out to accomplish, whatever goal that is. Like, do you guys resonate with the finish your story kind of?
It's a story of someone who placed a bet on himself.
I like that.
When he asked for his release, all those years ago, and he made his money back tenfold.
He did.
Minimum. He literally went from, he went from a legacy of, he's Dusty's kid, but he just, he doesn't quite have it. He's good in there, but he doesn't have it. And through some acting gigs, some wrestling around the world, starting a rival promotion, coming back, he's now just far and away the guy.
Yeah, he's a superstar.
An absolute superstar. The quarterback, he called it, and I would totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
There's something I think we can all enjoy about that for someone who just said, no, I know I can do this. I don't have the chance now, but I'm going to go make my own road, pun intended.
Damn.
And you know what? It is his own. It is a uniquely Cody road. Again, pun intended. No one else could have done it the same way, and no one else will do it the same way. And that's what makes it. It's very Hollywood, right? It's very Hollywood. But I think we can all appreciate that to some extent.
It is, and Cody Rhodes' story is so fucking cool, dude. I mean, it's and it's organically cool. It's like not only did he, because I remember when Cody first struck out on his own, and I wanted the best for him, like everyone else. That's Dusty's kid, and I appreciated Goldust for what Goldust was. Mm-hmm. So I was like, cool. Maybe Cody's will have more success on the Indies in New Japan or something like that. He'll get jacked or something, and he'll come back years later, and we'll be like, oh, look at that. And, sort of what happened to Randy. That happened to Randy in the WWE. He just evolved like a Pokemon. But the fact that Cody's story is so much bigger than just WWE, because I do remember the years he was dashing Cody Rhodes. I do remember when he put on that weird see-through face mask like Rip Hamilton. Like and Stardust. Not only do I remember Stardust, I remember when he popped up on Arrow, because I was watching Arrow at the time. And when he had wrestling matches with Stephen Amell as like a supervillain. Like that's such a weird time, but it's all part of what his story is. And so just like JRatt said, the fact that he went off, and he didn't just go to the Indies, he thrived there. He had cool matches there all over the place. And he once he dyed his hair, like once Cody was blonde, I was like, oh shit, dude. This is the final. He's a Charizard, dude. I'm like, this is the final form. Like once he got into the American Nightmare gimmick, once that started to materialize, I was all in. He was in the Bullet Club. Like he did so many really, really, really cool things. And not only was he in the Bullet Club, but he had an angle where he was trying to steal leadership of it from Kenny, and he was heel for a while. There are so many elements to what Cody did both in and out of WWE that when he says finish the story, I mean, it's a meme at this point. But when he says it, it means more than just, oh, I'm going to go win at WrestleMania, because isn't that what we all want to do? It's like, no, dude, it's like Cody has become the Charizard. Like he left a Charmander. He is back a Charizard. And damn it, dude, he's good at this. He's so good at this. He's one of the best at this. He managed to come in, be sold as a babyface, and people bought it. Roman Reigns,
not easy these days.
That is not easy. Roman Reigns wishes it was that easy. Because Roman Reigns went through thorns and bramble bushes for 5 or 6 years of us hating his guts. Before he cried about it before we liked him. And Cody came in as a babyface, and we liked him immediately, and he just doubled down on that. And he is the quarterback. He is the Captain America. So it's like finishing his story means everything, dude. It's proving that if you, like JRatt said, if you believe in yourself and you bet on yourself and you give it your all and you do everything you can, you'll reach the top of the mountain and you'll look like you belong there, dude. So I want to see him finish it. He's got to finish it for all of us who've seen him, seen this journey he's been on from start to finish. It's been a pleasure to watch it.
Yeah, that's wild, man. You guys definitely have the the whole story. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's really interesting to watch in that documentary, man. For someone like me, like instead of watching in real time, it was so much happened and so many changes, and just to get those intimate details. Because I mean, dude, it must have been wow. Like, how smart was that to do the American Nightmare? Like, no, I wouldn't say
such
gimmick.
a good twist, but it's such a good twist on the American Dream, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why?
Genius.
Why didn't anybody think of that before?
Why didn't Dustin think of that?
Right.
Come on.
Well, let's be honest. Goldust had its own place, though.
It did.
I think that was a good lane too.
Yeah, Goldust and Booker T was some of the great stuff of the '90s, man. That was funny shit.
It was May 22nd, 2016 that Cody got released from the WWE.
Wow.
So it's
that was
been
a different
just
world.
shy of 8 years.
Dude, that was the year
Holy
Pokemon
shit.
Go came out. That was one of the best years.
True.
Dude, that was one of the best years.
I've never been
2016
outside
oh my God,
in my
man.
life.
Dude, yes,
Wow.
dude. That was a golden time.
It's incredible,
Take me
man.
back.
Like, do you think, though, him winning this weekend, if it does happen, and I think we all, at least right now, agree that that's a strong possibility, if not probably going to happen. It'd be really insane if he doesn't. Like,
We're in Philadelphia. They burn that shit
Yeah,
down.
burn
if
it
he
to the
doesn't.
ground.
but let's say he wins. Is
Mhm.
that Cody's story? And if it is, what is his next story? Or do you think that when he's all said and done, that the finish the story goes beyond him beating Roman Reigns and having this title? Like, but I'm just like wondering if that's your biggest push for this guy, is that he does this thing. It's kind of like Frieren, this anime that I really enjoy.
I can't believe you're bringing up Frieren right now, but I'm in.
JRatt knows. JRatt knows. Frieren is
That's
the shit.
crazy.
It's like one of the best. So Frieren is, for those, and I don't, Fross, you know about Frieren?
I'm seeing stuff about it in my community, but I haven't watched it. Okay.
Oh, you bastard!
Very good.
You need to do it. But anyways, Frieren, for just elevator pitch, and JRatt can correct me or fill in the blanks. But it's literally about a band of heroes in a fantasy world, and you have a mage who is an elf, Frieren. You got your swordsman, you got your priest, healer, you got your dwarf. And they beat the Demon King. Spoilers, sorry. But it's really about it's the first of it. It's not even the premise of the story. It kind of is, but it's more about like what happens after the heroes win. And it's also about, so much more. Like Frieren is an elf. So see, this is a whole wrestling thing, and we're talking about elves and shit. Okay. But it's cool. It'll make sense. We'll connect the dots.
All these things dovetail more than you'd think.
Yeah.
Wrestling is just redneck anime.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
It just
love
is.
it. I love that.
It's
oh
pretty
my
damn
God.
anime.
I got to use that. That's fantastic. But so it's so much about the aftermath and like. So what I'm getting at is that what if I gave you the position of writing that story or being part of that creative team, or what would you guys do with Cody after he wins? If he wins.
Assuming he does.
Assume.
Frost, you got one already on tap or no?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, man, and I've been thinking this all night as we talked about it. I see on the other side of WrestleMania an even better, like a golden land, dude. Like, because they've just set up all these threads so well that if he doesn't win, I don't know what the F the plan is, but let's say he does. And let's say for my scenario, let's say Drew McIntyre wins too. Let's say, just like you said earlier in the show, we get like a nice clean sweep of new champions. I think that's great. I think a lot of the storylines that have been going on now have been going on multiple years. Dude, Roman's been champ for like 3 years now. He's had plenty of time. Give him some time off. The Rock too. And then they can come back down the line for a feud. But I think you put the new belt on, you put the belt on Cody, you put the belt on Drew, you do some new champions, and then the world's your oyster. Then you're open for something like Gunther, like we talked about the other day. We're open for something like him possibly laying his championship in the ring, going, I've accomplished everything I wanted. have a tournament for my belt. I'm challenging Cody Rhodes. Something like that could happen. Or he challenges McIntyre, or Chad Gable challenges Cody. That's a lot. It's one of those things where even though Cody has a very large list of accomplishments right now, some wrestlers, it's difficult to buy into them beating certain people. Chad Gable's not beating Roman Reigns. I'm not buying that would happen on any given Sunday. But I think Chad has a much better chance of fighting someone like Cody, because I think that's a little more believable. So I think when you put the belt on a Cody and the belt on a Drew McIntyre, you get a whole new slate of people who can feud with them. You have an immediate feud with Seth Rollins for Drew. Okay, rematch clause. You have an immediate feud right there if you want to go there. You have Gunther who can get involved in either mix. Maybe he wants to double hold the titles, dude. Who knows? Mm-hmm. You have. There's just so many ways you can go with it, and so many people. Damian Priest still hasn't cashed in. Where's he fit in all of this? You know, is he going to cash in at Mania? He's going to wait to the other side of it. And I mean, there's so many matches that could happen after that. If you think about it, if these guys wrestled Roman, they just would not win, because they're not going to be the guy to knock Roman Reigns off a 3-year-long title run. You know what I mean? Gable's not going to be that guy. He's just not going to be that guy. We don't live in that reality. But Cody, I don't know, dude. I could buy into a tight match between him and Gable. So I think you have a lot of possibility on the other side if you get a lot of new champions in on WrestleMania. I
think more than I'm not going to get into necessarily like who should be the next feud, because again, like you said, there's like 5 or 6 different people that are totally believable in that role right now, assuming he wins. I think the story, obviously, like this story ends, and we're opening a new book, obviously now with Cody as champion. I think that story looks like Cody comes out and is like, I'm not going to be this champion that only works once every, 6 months, here, I'm the fighting champion, do that whole deal. I kind of want to see it be something similar to, I know you're not watching
Cena's U.S. title run. Is that what I'm picking up from you?
Kind of. I was almost going more. I was actually going to reference more, like Orange Cassidy in AEW.
Okay,
is like, whatever their like inter species.
I forget,
title,
but it sounds like you want the open challenge back.
No, I don't know if I want to go open challenge specifically. I think you could. I think that'd be like a fun thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just having him every pay-per-view, maybe even once in between pay-per-views, defending the title here and there.
And he would.
Right. Like, put the belt on the screen all the time. And we get 3 months into this, 5 months into this, 6 months into this, and Cody is, defending the belt, and he's learning, oh my God, this is a lot. Quarterbacking this team and taking these hits
takes its toll.
This is hard as hell. I got a family that I got to think of the future about. And I think that's where you can kind of build the harshness of that. And then if you get like a SummerSlam build where he goes against The Rock can be like, oh, you're learning now what this was like? Oh, funny. That's why you're not ready for it. And then you have your SummerSlam build there.
Ooh, yeah. And then we can get a nice edgy Cody where it's like, I need to dig deep.
Exactly. That's kind of where I see it go. I mean, I think you have to, especially if he's going to be like the Raw guy or like, I don't know where they're going to put him necessarily, but like you want that belt on TV a lot now, I think, just as like a change from because that would feel more like a changing of the guard post Roman and in again this new story for him. So that's kind of where I see this going.
But did Roman have Roman have that much hype pushing him into where he is now? I feel like
that is 2.5 podcasts at least worth of discussion.
Well, I know that there was resistance, like from what I've been able to gather, even just watching that documentary available on Peacock right now, if you guys would like to watch it.
Always be plugging.
You gotta be plugging it in, man. I understand that there was this infamous moment where he's booed. I heard that it was like, it felt like the WWE was shoving Roman into the throats of the WWE universe. And people were like, nah, we don't want this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost made sense in a weird way for him to kind of pull back once he got that. Weirdly, I don't know. And
all
then
he needed to do was become a bad guy, and once he did, we liked him.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you're right about it. You know, Cody's story might be him defending the title, being one of the more active champions. And you got to find that sweet balance, because you can't overdo it where he's out there all the time beating everybody. Nobody can beat Cody, but he's like constantly fighting and, you know, putting that out there. But you also, dude, he's part of the reason why you've sold out 13 consecutive shows. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's part of that. He's definitely part of that. He's on the cover of your video game right now. Like, he can't win this weekend and go away. He can't follow in that trend. He has to be around. Mm-hmm. What that does, I don't know. Like, does he become a talking head? I think people are going to expect him to not turn down a challenge. I think that's part of his personality. Like, almost like Captain America, I can do this all day kind of shit. Like, hey, I've worked this hard. It doesn't stop. And maybe that's something him and Hunter have gone over, as far as like, I know how much you've been working, dude. Just know that if you do win, it's only probably going to be more. Like, can you handle that? Can you carry that? And you won't have like a bloodline. You won't have a group. Technically, I think him winning takes Seth away from the picture, because Seth is like more likely going to lose his title, and then probably look at Cody and be like, "You're kind of the reason." You know, he could. I don't know, because you know. So then Cody's going to be it's lonely on the top, you know. And I don't think you could say that about Roman. Technically, every time you see him, he's with multiple people. Now he's got The Rock by his side.
But listen to what you're describing. That's so much good character development you're describing right there. That's such cool places we can go with Cody if he wins this title. There's so much good story waiting on the other side of a Cody Rhodes victory.
I guess you're right. I guess like it's been so focused on him winning that maybe we haven't. And since we're so close, and we are very confident that he will be our new champion after this weekend, but it's like, well, what's next? And I know that's terrible. It's like, enjoy the moment, look back, look at all the shit that he's been through. Like, and it's not even just him winning, it's the end of the Roman reign. And you know, like, what's that mean? So, you know, what do you think Roman disappears more or becomes more active once he loses the title? If he loses the title, what happens to Roman Reigns after WrestleMania 40?
I definitely think he takes a break if he loses, at least for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see a you know, maybe you'll get him on like the Raw after Mania or something. I think if anything, what they do is it kind of really starts the story of like they'll start dropping the hints hard of like him and Rock, because I don't think you can get away from doing that match at this point. At some point, whether it's next Mania or whatever.
Do we need a whole year though? Do we really need a whole year?
Well, it depends on scheduling too, right? Like, because obviously the Rock isn't just going to work full time.
So,
you know,
are we going to lose both of them?
And probably. Also, like, you're not going to do Rock versus Roman at a Backlash.
No.
You know, you're not going. You're putting that on SummerSlam, or you're putting that on Mania.
Yeah,
maybe Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, but like, it feels like it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah,
I feel like you saved that. That's a Mania match, man.
Yeah, that's a big one. Just a little nugget that I was thinking of too while you were just saying that. I wonder what Cody looks like when he doesn't have a chase. When he's not in the chase. You know what I mean? Like, because that was a lot of his. Because when I think back to him, you know, when he left WWE. He comes, he's jaded and he's going to come out and he's chasing that success. And then and then AEW starts and he's not the title holder right away. He doesn't start with a title, so he's chasing. But then he did a match with Jericho, who was the champion at the time, where if he lost, he could never challenge for it again, and he lost. And he no longer had a chase, and that's when he kind of cooled off there.
Oh, it killed his AEW career.
It didn't help. He kind of had his own island. The Codyverse was a thing.
It's hard to be a babyface when no one can get invested in your chase.
Exactly. And they came up with the TNT title and he got that and okay, but that didn't feel like that wasn't satisfying. So then he gets to WWE and now he has this chase again to get, to finish the story. I think it's totally fair to be like, what does a non-chasing Cody look like? What is that? What does champion Cody actually look like? Like I said, I kind of have a theory where it could go, but well,
let's hear it, dude.
It's kind of what I said before, where he's like this. Okay. I'm gonna fight everybody, and my name is Finley, and I love to fight. Whatever. And so he takes on all comers, and it kind of starts to break him down over time, slowly but sure. He starts getting in closer and closer matches over time. You build up to that Rock match. He shouldn't lose that, by the way.
Yeah.
But whenever you do end up needing to finish that story, or to finish that reign is fine. But does he have how long does he have the buy-in from fans when the chase isn't there? I'm not saying they'll just turn on him. I don't think it's an AEW situation, but we haven't really seen that. We haven't really seen a Cody who's at the top of the mountain and is just there. So it's interesting to, after 2 years of this chase, it's interesting to think about, what does this actually look like now? Moving forward.
So it's like, what do the Avengers look like when they don't have Ultron to fight? What are they doing? So then it's an opportunity for you to play with the internal conflict that Cody faces now. I'm sure that there's no way they don't just start saying Cody's going to have a moment where he's like, shit, this has been the change. Like you said, it's like, this is all I've wanted. Now that I have it, what do I do now?
I guarantee you that's the first promo he cut.
Gotta be. That's gotta be part of it.
I don't think it happens right off, but I think he will get there because you have to have a moment where he has to celebrate, and maybe it's about what does a champion look like? What, it's
Are you writing his promo for him? Is that what's happening here? Did you write it?
I'm just saying,
it's gonna sound like this.
It's gonna be his expectations of his peers and what they demand. Like you said, if it's hey, they're going to be coming after it. It kind of felt like Roman was kind of untouchable, so now it's if Cody is so available and so a part of that locker room, does he separate himself? Does he try to become a leader? Does he try to, and then I think you just push Gunther, and I think that becomes a WrestleMania for next year, but Gunther will have the first half of the year to relinquish, and then we start planting those seeds. But I almost feel like the only way you root for Cody again, if it's not to finish the story, is to defend the story, to avenge the story, because you're going to have somebody step up to the plate that does not have anything to fucking do with the bloodline, and you're going to have some kind of thing where it's just you want to root for him because he's the fucking good guy. Yeah, he's the champion. But what he's defending that title, what that title means. He was talking about it today at WWE World, where he said if he wins the title, he's going to change the look of it. He thinks that it should have a new look. So it's literally going to take on a new identity. He's going to be trying to rewrite what people expect of a champion. He might even say, I know you guys are used to just Roman showing up every freaking one to 3 months. Like every, it's like, but I'm going to be here. I promise. Like there's going to be kind of like the Tim Tebow. I promise. Like you'll never see anybody work harder than me. I'm going to be the bet. The work doesn't stop here, because it's going to be like, you have to immediately start telling people why we should give a fuck about you. Now that you got what you wanted, what do we want now? And it's also going to be that exchange that Hunter and other people are going to have to feel out. Like, okay, what do we want? They've done a really good job. We are in the social media era of this industry where they can literally gauge feedback quicker than ever. And I hope it's not a choose your own adventure, because I heard Cody talk about that. He's like, nobody buys choose your own adventures. I disagree. I really like those. But with that being said, I get it. Like, you have to have things subvert your expectations. You can't always get what you want. No fandom has ever like, think of all the things you guys like that we like together, whether it's anime, video games, Star Wars, name anything, or whatever. Just name something and just think about how fandoms turn, when it becomes like, hey, well, this is what we want. And they're, I like how The Rock says, shut up and just like enjoy the ride that The Rock is taking you on. Like, part of this is fun to discuss, but it's also part of it is like, I hope that they come up with something that I didn't know I wanted. And I wonder what that's going to be, because you're going to have to do that really quick. We really won't have a lot of time to just go, because it's like, dude, we're going to Netflix in a year. What are we doing now? Because they're cashing in a lot right now. This is a big main event heavy WrestleMania from what I can see. Like everything, even the it's like when all the Z fighters are getting, a moment to shine and an equal opportunity as far as like the tournament of power. That's what it feels like, because it's just going to change. The landscape will change. So yeah, I don't know. That's my little spill on it.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, it's interesting hearing you guys talk about where you think it could go. But yeah, I mean, listen, man, as someone who's been Cody's been my favorite wrestler for a hot little minute now. There's a reason I got that Bullet Club shirt of his, when I could have gotten one for Marty Scurll back when that was cool, or one for Kenny instead. I got one for Cody. And it's because he is a very rare archetype that we haven't really done well in Western wrestling in a long time. And that is the conquering babyface, like the conquering hero good guy that people actually like. Because every time WWE has tried to make that guy, we didn't like him. John Cena, during the years that make him legendary, everyone was booing him out of the arena, dude. Like, he was making tons of money through merchandise. Kids were buying his T-shirts, but he was getting booed all the time.
Cena sucks.
Cena sucks. Like, he was getting booed out of the building. He used to make jokes about it. Roman Reigns, same thing. We like him now. He's improved a lot as an actor, to be honest with you, and he's done great work as a heel champion. But when he was a babyface and they were trying to get him over with us, boo, you suck. The Rock came out there with him, and we still didn't want to see it. So,
look, guys, I real quick, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Fross. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Are you good?
I interrupted you, dude. I'm so sorry. I know that feeling. My bad.
No, what do you got? What do you got?
I'm just saying, like, look, man, I'm showing, if you guys are listening, you can't see what we're seeing, but I got Cody's WrestleMania 39 entrance, and I'm wondering, does he know right there that he's about to walk down that walkway and lose? Do you think he knows? Damn,
yes,
that sucks.
That's how that works.
He was asked that.
That's why these people are actors.
Yeah.
But like, how defeating is that, dude? Like, he must have just been so worried, like, he said it right now, like on First Take. He's like, "I'll just do commentary."
Look at him. This is WrestleMania.
You know what, though?
Stage, bro. Look at that.
Yes, he knows he's going to lose. I bet he also knows that they're going to WrestleMania 40 with him in the main event again.
Yeah, look at him, dude.
I bet he already knows that that's their plan right now, and he's like, "All right, I got to put out a good performance now to make sure that they know that they can put the ball in my hands a year from now."
Right.
Right.
And what saying is we don't have we have not had in like 20 years a baby face that beats everyone that we like. So what I would like to see them do is have Cody be sort of a sheriff. He's the baby face. If any other baby face is having problems with bad guys, he gets involved. He leads. If one guy, if Sami Zayn's getting 2v1'd, if he's getting stomped out, Cody comes out there.
Yo, real quick.
What
do you
think
about his tattoo, man?
I love
you guys.
that.
Do you like the
neck tat?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, when he first debuted it, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was kind of rough. He was embarrassed of it for a second or two.
Shit's hilarious.
Why did he get that?
You know, I can't remember why he said he got it, but he was embarrassed.
I think honestly, it's another piece of the I am making a bet on myself. I know I believe in this brand so much, it's gonna go right here where I can't hide it.
Wow.
Where I can't put it unless I wear a scarf to a convention in Chicago. Because like he would listen, obviously he was in AEW at this time, but like dude still had like acting prospects on like Arrow and stuff, and like putting that tattoo on there, it's not a great look if you're trying to get hired as an actor.
Gonna say one thing. Yeah. Roman Reigns wearing the black pants with the pure red sneakers and the red box, dude.
I love it.
It's such a clean
I love
look.
this shit.
Especially from where we came from with the flak jacket.
The flak jacket.
Oh God, I hated that. Come on.
This Roman with the red lay, this guy right here, yeah, man, he's a Hall of Famer.
It's like, man, I got to do my job, bro. Yeah, we're watching the match for WrestleMania 39. Everyone listening to this episode. By the way, we're going to take a minute real quick. We don't know how much longer this episode will be, so we're just kind of shooting the shit at this point, having a good time. And we just want to say thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day, busy night, busy schedule to listen or watch this episode of the podcast. And wanted to also thank my guest, JRatt and Fross of Ghost Planet Studios. Both of you guys, this is round 2. You guys had, just like Cody, you had two events, right? You had to go through one block.
Finishing the podcast.
You're finishing the podcast. And that's, so I really appreciate you guys taking time to do this as well. And so I just wanted to, take a moment. Do you guys acknowledge Roman Reigns?
Absolutely.
Without doubt.
Absolutely.
He's fucking cool, dude. It took him years to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was not cool for a long time. I remember one time he said suffering succothash, and I went, I gotta stop watching this.
Yeah.
I gotta stop watching this show, dude.
When he had that match with Jay, I think they were still in the Thunderdome at that time, maybe. But man, like the storytelling they did in that match, and it like the work rate was great, obviously. Because that was like right when they were kind of starting to tease a breakup of like the Usos and everything there. Like, man, that was peak wrestling right there. And it has been that good since. Really,
it really was. I don't know if you ever saw the match, Lucas, or any of those. That's the thing. Like, this bloodline story is given so much because we're deep in this Cody shit, dude. We're elbowed in this Cody shit. But it feels like yesterday that I was really wrapped up in the Jimmy, Jay, who's leaving, who's betraying who. Like, I still remember when Jay came up to Jimmy, I think, and was like, listen, you're out, Oos, and I'm out too. And then turned around and kicked Roman. And it was like, what is happening? Who is doing what? And then they took it off air, and you have to wait until SmackDown to see. And it's been great television for such a long time, dude. Like, Triple H has been just absolutely killing it. Let him have it all.
Do you think? We were talking about Cody and what his story looks like, but do you think that maybe their focus will be the bloodline and that falling apart, and they'll just focus on setting up Roman and The Rock?
There's room for
whatever. Both. Is there room for both, or can we
absolutely.
even like ease back even more from Cody? And for a brief moment in time, he kind of does the usual champion shit, and he
That's fine. Separate them, and then Roman Reigns has a legitimate rematch clause he can invoke later down the line.
I agree.
But do you want a rematch?
Not immediately, but
like at all. Do you really need to see this fight again?
Yeah, sure. Eventually, they work well together.
It's going to be 1v1. You got to have the rubber match,
right? And they work well together. They do. I would like to see. We're watching a match of theirs now. I would like to see them have another one, but I would like to see Cody retain.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
I don't know.
And who knows? That could be the catalyst for the true implosion of the bloodline. The Rock's like, okay, so you just can't get it done then. I need to lead the bloodline. And that could be that, Oof. There are lots of ways this could play out. That's why I say on the other side of WrestleMania, if Cody wins, like JRatt said, there's like 8 different feuds waiting, dude. Like you can literally do like so many different things, and you can break Cody apart from this bloodline storyline cleanly, because like I said, he's got other challengers that could step up in the meantime, and the bloodline can go back to maybe dealing with their personal issues and having matches with each other because of issues that they're having. And then, at some point down the line, get Roman back in the mix.
So couple things here. One, WrestleMania 39 looked beautiful. I mean, so easy on the eyes. The aesthetic, that SoFi Stadium, fucking amazing. The yellow, it goes to Hollywood, the stage, everything. I don't even know if Philly's going to be able to top that. I've been seeing the pictures of them. They've obviously started probably last week on constructing, everything, putting shit together. Getting the set together. So I'll be really excited to see what they do there. But I don't think I've ever talked to you guys about this guy. And we can't fail to mention there's a lot of shit happening this weekend. But one of the big things is the Hall of Fame. And you got Paul Heyman here. What do you think Paul Heyman does if Roman loses? Do you think he bounces and goes to Braun Breaker? He's like, yeah, you're the guy. Or Drew? Or
Drew. Drew would be crazy. I don't think
they were talking.
But Drew would be crazy. Really?
I think I love the Braun Breaker, but you bringing up Drew. That's not bad.
That's not bad. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. You know what I'd be afraid of, JRatt, if they gave him the Braun Breaker? It'd be another Curtis Axel situation. I'd be scared to death of that repeating itself, honestly. I really would. Because, that was Kurt Hennig's son, dude. It's not like that was nobody.
It's time for the era of McGillicuddy.
I was going to say, dude, Curtis Axel could have been like a Cody Rhodes or a Randy Orton if things had gone differently for him, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, no, like, I think there's a... God, look at it. Does look great, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm trying to... probably going to get copyright, so I'm trying to bounce around. Oh, well.
Turn it upside down and put it in a little corner or something. Yeah.
I don't know how I can do it.
Like what they do on Botchamania sometimes.
Oh, dude. Paul does deserve his flowers, though. He's one of the best.
Oh, my God.
The best managers ever, dude. Like, he called himself the GOAT in an interview the other day, and I'm like, honestly, man, you just never stop. Like, you've been doing a ton of things for many, many years, but you've also been on screen and all that time. And you're good in all your roles.
Great.
Like, you're a master on this microphone. Like, you are a GOAT. You are a Hall of Famer for sure. For sure. I can't think of any manager. I listen to Jim Cornette. I do think his work was legitimately great as a heel manager. But, Paul Heyman, though? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, like, what do you think his largest contribution has been? Like, do you think people remember him more for this, Roman and the bloodline and all that, or Brock, or wasn't he even with CM Punk at one point?
Yeah, he was, but Punk didn't need him then. Honestly, Punk was spitting fire before Paul Heyman came along, so that was overkill. I think it'll be these two things. It'll be Punk and Brock. I think.
Gotcha.
I guess it depends on like what you watched. Or like when you were a part of it, because like I think his ECW and immediately after time is like his biggest contribution to wrestling as a whole. In WWE, I think both the booking that he's done and I think his Brock work is like he kept Brock being very relevant
He did.
When Brock probably couldn't have done that on his own. And I think that's absolutely a huge part of it too.
Because Brock's promos are terrible.
Listen, it's exactly what I expect.
It is exactly what you would
from
expect.
A dude who looks like he eats sharks.
Yes, literally. But dude, I just can't believe he never got better. Like I just thought eventually, because there was a time where I listened to Roman Reigns and said, this guy just is not it. Yuck. But I listened to him today and I go, damn, dude, this guy he really found it. He really like this is.
He's got the freedom to do it too now.
Yeah, right. I'm like, this here is a character he's got here now. And Brock is a lot of great things, but he just never got there with his promos. He needs Paul Heyman because I think whenever Brock tried, just go every time you listen to a Brock Lesnar promo, he does some awkward, embarrassing scream, or his voice cracks, or something weird. And it's just so much better when he stands behind Paul Heyman and jostles around and wiggles his man boobs, Like I think he's just so much better at that. So I don't know, man.
Well, do you think Drew needs him then?
Drew doesn't need him, but it's a cool pair. I wasn't thinking about it until you said it.
Well, you have that moment where they're talking in the background when they're in the backstage, and it was one of those shots, and just kind of feels like that would, like you said, that'd be really interesting to see how that plays out, what kind of influence Paul would have. But then it's like you're really going to start pushing Drew like even more, which they've kind of set him up where it's a win-win. And it's like, okay, we're setting up all this stuff with CM Punk. They obviously want to get their money's worth. They obviously know what CM Punk brings to, they're fine without him. And even CM Punk has, admitted that. He's like, they were good before I came back. It's all good. But then he got hurt. But I think that they're keeping that door completely wide open. It did feel like there was. It's funny to see, and I'll probably notice it more year to year. Say I stay into all this, and it's looking pretty good. But when you're talking about there's an end game, but then there's an after the end game. It's like this got to keep going. We got to keep going. So it's like obviously you got Drew and Seth, but you also have that they've planted the seeds for Drew and CM Punk, so that's kind of cool, man. It's like, wow, all right. Like you don't usually see that in other forms of media, forms of entertainment. Usually it's like, we're going to stay here and focus here. It's not like they were talking about, Frieza, and then they were also talking about, hey, these androids though, bro, they're coming. That shit right around the corner, actually. But I like Drew. I really do. I think he's killing it on social media, and I honestly want to see CM Punk live up to these, moments and expectations that I think he has right now. I think what do you do? What do you do with him if he gets hurt again? I don't know. Let's hope that never happens. I think like in any kind of competitive, athletic type of, entertainment or event, I hate when players get hurt. I hate when you're playing I'm a football fan. I hate when you're playing a team and they're like, well, we didn't have our starting quarterback, so of course you guys beat us. It's like, no, I want to see like full roster.
You gotta, dude. He makes money. I in anticipation for us doing this today, I listened to his full MMA show interview.
Oh, what'd you think?
Okay, well, I came away with, because I was pretty negative on Punk for a while there when he first left AEW, because I thought he was the problem. But the way he explained it, I could just see all of it going down exactly the way he said, because I followed the Elite and the guys who are the EVPs at that company. I followed their internet wrestling show for like 2 or 3 years. So I got real acquainted with their personalities. And the way he laid the story out and what I've heard about it from other sources as the years gone on, I believe his version of events. I believe CM Punk's the type of guy who, where if you said something crossways to him, or you go into business for yourself in a promo and you go off script from what you've agreed on, he's probably going to try to beat your ass. And he's got a consistent reputation for that. And I believe there are people who have moved very sneakily around that type of a person. And so when I listened to him on that podcast, I went, okay, that is probably close to how it went down. Because on my podcast, I said, when he got into a fight in the locker room, which was part of the reason he ended up leaving, just part of it. I don't really believe he did anything that wrong. Because he went, I don't know if you know this, he went out on a media scrum after the event and sort of talked shit about some of the guys backstage that were giving him problems. And a lot of people had a lot of opinions about him doing that. But in that MMA interview we're talking about, he was like, those things were stupid anyway. This isn't fucking football. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You don't need to do a media scrum after your wrestling event. They're not necessary. They're kind of a weird thing. And he called them cringe. And I'm like, you know what? You're kind of right. Like, listen, I try to keep it 100% real. If someone says something real, I go, damn, all right, I agree with you. And he dropped a lot of realness in that interview. I didn't really detect any bullshit. Everyone's got their side to the story, though.
Do you think it does more harm or good? Do you think it was necessary?
Listen,
Do you think
here's what he emphasized, and he's right. He's right. And keep in mind what I said. I didn't like Punk like 3 months ago. I didn't like Punk. I thought he was a locker room cancer. But he put some things into perspective for me. He's correct. This is a business, and it's about selling tickets and moving merchandise and being a good wrestler in between those ropes. I've seen CM Punk's matches in AEW, and I liked them for what they were. I was there the night he cut the pipe bomb. I was watching live, so I was there for his whole big shebang in WWE. I've seen all the highlights when they happened, so I know what he can do. But he's right. At this stage in his career, he's chill. He's just going with the flow. He's accepting the storylines he's given. But if Tony Khan, and this is what he said in the interview, if Tony Khan and people like that are asking him to intervene in issues with other wrestlers, that's not his job. And you know what type of guy he is. So if you put him in that situation, you asked for that to happen. That is Tony's job to do. There are things he said that weren't being done in that company that led to him getting out of there. And I believe him. The way he laid it out, I believe him and what I know about the situation. So I don't think he's a problem. I think CM Punk is the type of guy that he can't work with people who aren't going to be, 100% real with him. If you try to do sneaky shit, if you try to talk behind his back, if you leak things to the press, if you do any of that, he's going to come and find you, and he's going to have an issue with you, and it's going to get physical if it needs to. And if you know that, and you kind of move the way some of the people moved around him, that's kind of on you. He's not having these problems in WWE right now. I'm hearing everything's hunky-dory behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too.
And so listening to that interview, I came away with, I get it. He's right. He is a star. You know, when they signed him, they didn't even pick him up from the airport.
That's
and even I'm like, damn, bro, that's some lo-fi stuff right there. I mean, shit, let's say I was flying in someone famous for something. You think I wouldn't have their airport stuff arranged? And it's like, he's your star. He was the biggest person in the company. He backed that up with numbers he dropped on the interview. He was their biggest star. He was moving the most merchandise. They didn't even pick him up from the damn airport. And so, no, I don't really think CM Punk, I think it's good he's back because I'm not a huge fan of him anymore. I'm not that guy who loves him anymore. But I know he sells tickets. And just like you said the last time we recorded, he moves merchandise like crazy. Why wouldn't you want that guy?
That's yeah. Gosh, you're right, man.
I was quiet too long there. Don't absolve him.
I know you didn't like what I said.
Him.
I didn't say I liked him.
I don't like that you said that. Like, don't act like he didn't do anything there. Okay, I don't like that. The EVPs did plenty of wrong things too. There is fault to go around everywhere there.
I don't disagree.
He throws shade at journalists that were in that scrum too. Also, the WWE started doing those scrums because AEW was doing them. So, if they're cringe, why is your company doing them too?
They are dumb. I don't know why anyone's doing scrums, dude. This is wrestling. Do we need scrums?
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have gotten Yeet.
Okay, well that's true.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Yes, that came from an interview from someone who is not working for WWE, but very much benefits from WWE, and a guy who obviously has his side of the story. And I'm not saying he's lying. about any of that.
No, but he's shitty too. You're right.
I think he's leaving out some other things he's done there as well. So I don't like the narrative that Punk is absolved necessarily on that. Now, like, again, some of like the Jungle Boy shit, again, a lot of that was Jungle Boy's fault. I get that. But like, I think Punk is going to be fine here. I think he's just like, I don't think he gives a shit about.
He's getting older, man.
He's there to make money.
Yeah.
I hope he does like a prize fighter gimmick.
That he
comes back where he's just like, I'm here to fight for money, and that's it. Because I love that as a concept for him at this age. Yeah, of course he's got a future. He'll go as long as they'll let him.
I think he's got another 4 years before he's done, because he's been talking about being beat up and old for like 5 or 6 years already.
And
he's injured right now.
Right. I'm not one of these people who's like, I haven't been calling for this, but I know that a lot of people do. I think he wants to be around if AJ is going to come back for anything too.
Oh yeah, sure do, because he mentioned it on the pod.
He
said don't rule that out. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
AJ Lee's a goat, dude. Oh god.
Yeah, his wife, AJ Lee, was a beloved superstar in WWE.
She was a great wrestler, dude. She was around in the period. There's some interesting history for you, Lucas. So we have the women's division now, but it used to be the Divas division. and they used to fight for a little butterfly belt that looked like it was a Bratz doll accessory. And it was all kinds of offensive, honestly. I mean, you really want to unpack it. It kind of was. And it was just left over from the Attitude Era, where the women were there to kind of have bra and panty matches and things like that. It was maybe the last remnant of those days. And AJ Lee was one of the female wrestlers who really started to change what it meant to be a women's wrestler in WWE.
Yeah.
Her, Natalia, and even, you know what? Even the Bellas to an extent. To an extent, and it's a small extent. I'm giving them some credit. I'm trying to be nice.
Right.
And it's
Paige
like,
too. Paige Saraya.
Paige,
too.
there we go. Paige carried that torch as well. And it's like, there were a lot of wrestlers who started really, really going hard and making women's matches very interesting and cool and competitive. And AJ Lee was one of those wrestlers who was really good with that. And now that we have the actual women's division and proper women's titles, it'd be really cool to see her come back, dude.
For sure. Even just for like a little, do a SummerSlam thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put her in the ring with like a Becky Lynch. Are you kidding me?
Oh, dude, AJ versus Becky would be so good.
Kidding me? People aren't gonna go crazy for that.
That'd be such a good match.
God, we went this whole episode pretty much without talking about Rhea Ripley or Becky, or
Surprising, because I could talk about Rhea Ripley anytime.
I know,
Facts.
man. I know.
I can do a lot more than talk, but it's a family show, I think. So,
dude, she got tattooed. Dude. She got tattooed today at that event.
Good.
Like,
put one on your neck
man.
Now too.
Yeah,
she's the
dude.
best. She's the best, man.
She is. I know that Judgment Day is going to have a huge, impact on WrestleMania 40. Dom and everything. It feels like we're still going to get some moments from across the board. Honestly, dude.
Like, I hadn't even thought about.
We talked about the Jimmy and Jay match, before, like that. Like, there's so much in that match on night one.
That could be a very emotional match.
What do you do with Jimmy after, though? What do you do? Does he get pushed?
I think it'd be neat if they both go away for a little while, for maybe a couple weeks, and then surprise us with whatever they do after that.
What if Jimmy becomes the next leader of the bloodline? Like, not even the leader of the bloodline. He comes off and does his own thing. Like, it just like they, branch off or something.
Well, it's kind of like I said that on the last one, where I was like, Jay needs to win that so Jay can like go be a singles guy.
Yeah.
So he can break from the bloodline too. And then
that'd be nice.
Jimmy can like have his come up as like the breakup of the bloodline. That's where he gets his little rise as well.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense to me.
Because let's be honest, no one really loses in this match. I mean,
right.
Everyone's fine coming out of it, whichever way it goes.
I heard something. Somebody kind of was pitching this old versus new, like this Attitude Era versus what we have now, and how they could do that with The Rock. And let's just say you bring back some other people, and I was like, I don't know, man. I think really, like, as much as the WWE intro is like then, now, forever,
They haven't changed that? I thought they were going to change that now.
No, that's or isn't it then, now, forever together or some shit like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
They do the Marvel thing where they just see, the
you
the
see
highlights.
all
Yeah. So they do a good job of like paying respects and remembering where they came from and the different eras that, fans might have been a part of or like the most or whatever. I don't think you do that though. I think you just keep pushing forward. I think you just you have so much good talent. Like why would you, like, even people were saying like, you don't need The Rock. Like, you remove The Rock from this, it's still pretty good. But I almost wish that I want to keep what he's done. So either somebody else does something like that, but I don't think they do that if it's not The Rock pushing for that, right? You tell me The Rock and Hunter are talking and he's like, dude, let me blood, bro. Let me do this. Let me do that. Like, I'm going to do this. Or is he even asking permission? Is it more like ask forgiveness?
He's on the board of directors.
I know.
Yeah, he's not really answering to too many people.
He's not asking permission for anything. His personal writer's back there with him. The one he uses for the movies is with him now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure whatever The Rock is doing, if it's not specifically Cody related, I'm sure he's dictating all of it. And you know what? Triple H is probably letting him do it because The Rock seems to be taking this. I meant to hit on this earlier, Lucas. Money, yes. I meant to hit this earlier when you were sort of getting to what I was thinking with The Rock. There's a reason he's taking this so seriously, like you said earlier. And I think it's because things haven't been going so great for him in Hollywood lately. Yeah. Yep. He's been on a pretty bad streak of luck for The Rock, considering what we've seen from him. And his public image kind of took a big hit coming out of Black Adam. A lot of people like me were salty at what he did there and how that went down. So I think when he came out and his big angle, which was the intention was to be him and Roman. Let's not forget that. They pivoted. And I think they've even admitted now that they've pivoted. I'm pretty sure that, because The Rock worked that into his promo. Cody Crybaby's right.
He chucks that freaking trash can.
It's just so hard.
Have you guys seen on Twitter, there's an account that every time there's a big hit, they add the Sonic rings and it goes,
That's great.
Yeah.
There's so many. Oh, gosh.
But so I think that's why The Rock's trying so hard in all this. He's back in his original home. And when he tried to come out and be the big guy in the WrestleMania spot, no one wanted that, really. People rejected that pretty hard. And I feel like he's like, okay, I cannot go down this way. I cannot come back to wrestling and get booed like Batista. All right.
Yeah.
I have to play into this and go all in. I need my Hollywood writer here with me. And I'm going to break out the cow vests from 99.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's, we're watching him here now.
Yeah, it's funny to.
It's some of his best work in a long time, dude.
It's funny watching it with closed captions on.
I was so sure he was going to toss Cody into the bay.
I thought he was throwing that man off.
That would have been incredible.
Like Edge got tossed into the Toronto Sound that Cena threw Edge into, and he got sick and got a bunch of viruses and shit. Yeah.
Do you think we'll know by the end of WrestleMania 40 what the final boss really means? Like, do you think he is the final boss? Like, he thinks of Roman as like the boss before the final boss? That's the way I look at it.
I don't think they'll hit it right there, but I think there'll be inklings. There'll be inklings of The Rock down the road.
I thought about this earlier because you guys were talking about anime earlier. I kind of think about wrestling with power levels sometimes. At any given time, I'm thinking about where a wrestler sits with their power level. And I think The Rock being the final boss is sort of like when Brock Lesnar came back and ragdolled John Cena in like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. He just established that there's a new power level and this is it. Like if Cena can't even mount offense against me, who are you? And I feel like The Rock is sort of at that level right now with everyone who's around because Brock isn't that guy anymore. Cody beat Brock twice. And I think The Rock stepping in and being this high intensity guy who can just beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes with everything he's done. I think that's them sort of establishing that at this exact moment, The Rock is where Brock was then. He's an older guy, but he's the guy who's still got it enough to be a problem and a challenge to all the modern wrestlers today.
I just love the concept of power scaling WWE wrestlers. This is oh my God. I could do a whole
do that.
I could do a whole podcast on just that.
I was gonna say, you guys not do that?
I mean,
it's like it's like 2K overalls, right?
Yeah,
like overall ratings of the game.
You know the wrestlers check those religiously. I watched the whole. I watched the whole. I don't know if it was up, down, down. I forget. Where they literally all sat down and were filtering into the room one by one, checking their overall on like 2K24.
Valid.
Yeah. Well, guys, is there anything else that you'd like to bring up or predict or anything? Last thoughts on WrestleMania 40? Because the next time we get together, all of our answers or all of our questions will have answers. That's what I wanted to say originally. But so yeah, is there anything you guys want to throw out there before we wrap up the episode and everything?
Should we just all like rattle off our predictions for each match? Just like not too big explanations, but just like bang, 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 bang. This is what we're doing.
It. I like it. Yes.
So that it's on, so that it's saved in the audio sphere this time.
Yes. We do. We should do that. Damn, I wish I had that paper, but I'm gonna pull it up right now.
I do.
And I will. Oh, you do?
I have it up in front of me.
You are amazing.
I love you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. Well, JRatt, if you want to go ahead and lead that charge,
sure.
I will. We will follow your lead.
We'll just go down your list here. So night one, Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. What do we got?
They lose. Sorry.
Everyone loses.
Yeah, everybody loses.
Yeah, no, I think that's a Rock and Roman win. I think that's where they need to get the win.
That's going to be so amazing, though, dude. That bloodline rules. Oh, I mean, I don't think there's any other way. Yeah. I don't think there's any other way.
You got to open it up for that. You got to open it up for the wackiness of night two.
Yeah, but you could also use that as an opportunity to plant the inevitable Rock versus Reigns.
Right.
So maybe something happens during that match that starts to create the divide, right? Mm. They've all been picking at each other, but maybe there will be this, like, who's going to take the lead? It's a tag match, man. There's egos involved. Like, who's going to be the one who does the finishing move? Like, he could be as petty as that. Yeah, exactly. Can they? I don't know. They can talk this. They're family. But when you're in the ring, in the moment, when the spotlight is on you, who's Batman and who's Robin?
Valid.
So, any thoughts, Fross?
Sorry, I was trying to look up the card so I can do my rapid fire. I was trying to find
I think JRatt's going to kind of help, and I got to pull
I'll just pop down each one, and we'll just give like a sentence for each.
Sweet. Do you got it? No big deal. This is kind of impromptu.
I totally found it. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
There we go. This is from BleacherReport.com.
Oh, way to go, Bleacher Report. Up top.
Love they actually do wrestling. Yeah.
What's your opinion on Meltzer?
Why would you ask a podcast long question?
Listen, it is a podcast long question, but I'm so curious.
Let me tell you, when I got back into wrestling back in like 2015, one of the things that helped me get back into it was subscribing to the Observer.
To Dave Meltzer, okay.
Yeah, because I loved like learning history from those guys.
Uh-huh.
And I thought Brian was funny, honestly.
Brian is funny. Did you listen to Wrestling Observer and everything too?
Oh, for years.
Okay.
Years and years.
Okay.
I'll still go back and do it.
Yeah.
Every now and again, but like, I totally understand the criticisms of Dave.
I was going to say, because it's really
totally
on a minute.
I like him, and I respect the history he has in this, but like, I get it.
Do you think he's washed, dude? Do you think he's washed?
I don't think he's washed. I think he's getting older. That happens to people. Like,
I don't have a strong opinion of Meltzer myself. I did everything you just said as well, but I've never really. I just know that he occupies and Lucas Dave Meltzer is a very prolific wrestling journalist.
I was about to say I have no idea.
When you hear the phrase star ratings for matches, that's
okay.
Right.
That's him.
Okay.
They're talking about Dave Meltzer and the wrestling.
I know.
I think we're in a place now where there are so many other outlets to get wrestling knowledge and to get up to date like info and opinions and stuff like that I don't want to say it's obsoleted him, but like he now is just one voice as opposed to the voice.
And you know what's so crazy to me, dude? Like I said, I don't have a strong opinion on Dave Meltzer. I just know who and what he is. And it's like, dude, why do so many of the boys hate him? Like on the WWE side, they talk grade A shit about Meltzer. Oh, Seth Rollins himself was talking shit about Meltzer like last year.
Yeah. Well, listen, I kind of get it. Vince hated him, and you can sow the seeds.
Is that what it is?
Him and Vince, their relationship like died. And like, I could see if I'm Seth Rollins and I'm working my ass off and I'm getting 4 stars, and then he's given Okada Omega 6 stars. I'm like, F this guy.
Oh, dude, he was such a
which, like, to be fair, those matches were so good. But
he was they were good.
I get it.
Yeah, he was such a salty MFer during that whole period, dude. He's so mad.
Oh, it's very funny. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going on the card here. Frost, and you said Rock and Roman, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Rock and Roman.
Yeah, on night 1. Women's championship. Yes. Yeah, Rhea and Becky.
Rhea.
Yeah, I think I think we all said Rhea on that one.
Torch passing moment.
Yeah, for sure. Intercontinental, Gunther and Sammy.
I say Gunther retains.
Yeah, Gunther. I was the oddball out on this one. I said Sammy.
Maybe.
But Ross, I do like your theory of he wins and then like night after Mania he just goes, I've beaten all of you, I don't care anymore. Lays the belt down and goes for the world title. I love that, actually.
Dude.
Yeah, I love that.
Be badass.
Jimmy J. I said J.
I think J.
I'll think J too, sure.
Mm-hmm. I feel good for a face to win. 6-pack ladder match with the tag team belts. We said 2 winners we're getting on this one.
What did I say? I said A-Town down, and I said DIY.
Yep.
Good.
That's what I said too.
I want DIY to win. New Day have already had their day, and it was glorious. Mm-hmm. Either New Day or Priest and Finn, honestly.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like Judgment Day. I kind of hope they keep rolling. They've done really well in the shadow of the Bloodline and still be a very relevant faction.
Really good mid-card faction.
Yeah, exactly.
Like mid to upper, I would say.
Right. It's been a long time.
Bianca, Naomi, and Jade versus Damage Control. I think we all said Bianca, Naomi, Jade.
Yeah. I don't think Damage Control wins that one. That's another group that we're not sure what's going to happen after WrestleMania 40.
And I said, I think they have to win because I'm of the belief that next Mania is going to be one of the nights will be main evented by Bianca and Rhea.
I think it's going to be Jade now, bro.
There's your prediction. Well, because Bianca hasn't lost at Mania yet. It's only been like 3 or 4 of them, but still, I think that's going to be a thing.
Give me Bianca, Rhea, and Charlotte, please. Give me like a 3-way match.
They were talking about I saw what you guys were talking about with the 4 horsewomen or whatever.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Have you ever watched Charlotte Flair?
Bruh, no. I started watching. Ooh. I know I'm catching up. Like that NXT video that I told you guys about, that really helped me get acquainted with some of these people, man. I was like,
wait till you see Charlotte Flair do a bridging suplex pin
Yeah.
Or you see her doing one of her crazy flips. Dude, she's so tall to be flipping around the way
the
she
prettiest
does.
moonsault in the business.
And yet, dude, she's so good.
Yeah.
And dude, I love it for you, Lucas, because I get it. You just get into this stuff, and there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit in this rabbit hole.
A lot of stuff, man. A lot of shit.
Rabbit hole.
Lore.
It's a lot of lore. I love lore, man. I love it though, man.
You picked up
good
One
world
Piece
building.
1100
Oh,
episodes in.
But it's still One Piece, so it's worth the journey.
Exactly.
Is it though? My bad.
I don't
That's
know. I haven't gotten into One Piece.
Don't be that guy now. Don't ruin.
All right,
Don't
back
get
to the 40, the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Ray, we got Ray
Ray
and
and
Dragon.
Lee versus Escobar and Mysterio.
I like those two. I like Ray and Dragon Lee.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, me too.
But honestly, I will not be surprised if Dom wins.
I was going to say, that's what I said the last time we recorded. I think Dom is an amazing heel.
Yeah.
I think he's doing some incredible. He's got Vicky Guerrero heat, and his entrance. That's what I said. The entrances for this match, I'm interested in. Because ex-con Dom, I think you're gonna hate him so bad, dude. Like he's gonna piss you off so much. So I'm excited for this one, but
I wonder if he'll try to create an identity that is so far away from Judgment Day looks and vibes, and then he kind of goes tests it out with people.
Dude. Didn't we say when we recorded last time it'd be crazy if heel if Dominic came out on a lowrider like Eddie Guerrero?
Yeah. Oh
yes.
Yeah.
So damn, a lot of cool shit could happen with that match. And I don't know the order. I can assume, but I don't know how you open up night one. I don't know who you guys.
I think they said Rhea and Becky is the
what? That'd be cool.
It'll be hot. It'll be a hot start for that. To be fair.
Yeah, damn.
That
crowd's gonna be exhausted by the end of this shit, dude.
Oh, you already know.
Nights 2 nights.
That's gonna be the tricky.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be super tricky when you talk about like people, anybody, man. It's
well,
gonna
that's
be
the
like,
thing.
Holy shit!
Isn't this your first Mania you're watching, Lucas?
Yeah, he doesn't know about the 8 hour. He doesn't know about the 8 hour Manias.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the thing is that, and this has been a real issue at Mania. It's like, dude, the crowd gets tired. So sometimes you get the hot matches, right? And the crowd is just dead, man.
Yeah,
they don't have any energy. They just can't anymore.
I wonder if we're gonna see some that just are really quick, man.
Maybe that's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
it might happen.
Night 2. Should we go from the bottom up?
Yeah. The Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll win.
Yeah,
I think that was just thrown together at the end there the last couple of weeks.
Tend to agree. I do hope that Authors of Pain get a good run after this though. Like I hope I want to see them in the tag division. I remember a lot of the work they did in NXT, and I really hope they get a run there. But yeah, Lashley Profits easy.
Did they have their manager guy with them this run?
I thought so. Yeah,
Paul
that
bald guy.
Bald guy, yeah.
He's Paul Ellering.
Yeah, he's there.
He's totally a part of the gimmick. Totally big.
Okay. I don't know shit about the Final Testament, dude.
Valid. LA Knight, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
AJ Styles. Oh no, shit.
I got LA Knight going over, man.
Same.
Yeah.
He needs it more.
Right. And, I said that last show that I think AJ came back specifically to put guys who are on the way up over with great matches. Yeah, that's right. Because we went on for a good minute about how crazy good AJ Styles was when they first did that brand split.
Yeah.
And he was on SmackDown. It was the house that AJ Styles built. Those are great years. Dude, was that 2016 too? That year was so good.
Yeah, it might have been. I think you're right.
Oh, it was like the best year, dude. I swear, take me back.
What is this thing about AJ Styles saying? I was expecting a problem when CM Punk came here. I was wrong.
Probably sowing the seeds.
Honestly, maybe.
Be a hot feud. Be some great matches.
That'd be fun. What's next? What do we got?
U.S. Championship.
Dude, I think Kevin Owens for some reason, but I think we all had different opinions about how this plays out.
We did. I think I was the only one who was like, "Nah, man, Logan Paul retains, and he needs to retain."
I could see all three of them, but I think I've kind of landed on Logan Paul too. I think it just why take it off of him now?
Yeah, it's good for the business.
Yeah. But then what do you do with Randy and Kevin after that? You know,
Randy can do anything.
Yeah, he can do anything. He looks great right now.
Yeah, he does, dude.
Work
He
his way
does.
back a little bit. Like he's fine.
You know
What
what I
do you
think
get-
would be? I think he could work a program with Punk because I watched them a YouTube.
Yeah.
It's funny we're talking about their YouTube today. I watched them watch one of their old matches together.
Yeah,
And they
that's
sort
cool.
of bury the hatchet with each other.
That was very cool. I like that. Like, and they were pretty awesome about showing each other the respect and really just
Really,
saying,
they
man,
were.
man, I'm so glad you came back. I texted you and I love
Right.
you, man.
And Randy apologized for straight up talking shit about Punk behind his back one time. Owned it like a man.
Yeah.
He literally said straight up, he's like,
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see you walk around the corner while I was burying you, dude.
Yeah. That's gotta be wild, man. Because they both have been in that long, you know.
That's true.
Almost the same amount in some ways, and have seen so many different sides of that industry. And Randy's done really good to adapt and evolve. I know he said something about his theme music too. He's just like, it just doesn't hit like it used to, and
He doesn't
You
have
kinda
that
wish-
burn in my light, baby.
yeah. But it's like there, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't get rid of it. It's kind of, you know.
But he's a
But
goat.
yeah.
Randy's a goat, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when you're talking about the YouTube channel. I know I've been praising that a lot, but you know
They just broke 100 million subscribers. by
it's
the way.
crazy. They do a good job with peeling back the curtain a little bit more now. Like there's risk in
you
that,
have to.
but I think
You have
that,
to.
I think that I think they respect the intelligence of their audience and go, hey, we get it. Like here, why would we try to keep it so tucked away? Like this, you get closer to it. You understand it in a way that you respect it more. Like I respect it a lot more now that I've seen what I've seen and learned what I've learned up at this point that I didn't know for years and years. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially in an age where there's so many platforms and media outlets that will report on stuff. It's good to get ahead of it and be like, I'm the one pulling back the curtain, so it's not rumors that show up on Fightful Select or some other or the Wrestling Observer or something. Like we are the ones showing you.
Talk about too. It disarms, as someone who's converted a lot of people into watching it back in the day. A lot of normies who had to be sold on the idea of it. The first thing they say is, "Isn't it fake?" And it's like, okay, well now we've just sort of we've taken that back. It's like, okay, well, one, that's the wrong word. All right, that's a term. They talk about it being scripted and predetermined. They talk about that in interviews on the YouTube page. Mm-hmm. Yes, we know you're the one who's late, and I think it's a very clever way to sort of flip that on its head. It's like we all know, but that's the beauty of it. You're not, as I said when we recorded last time, you're not going to plan a party with 8 people that you buy 3 pizzas for, and then someone gets knocked out in 32 seconds. Everyone goes home.
Yeah.
Okay. If you watch WrestleMania, you can get 3, 5, whatever hours of heat, and it's going to be worth it, dude.
I cannot wait, man.
Women's Championship.
I was gonna say Io Sky or Bailey.
Bailey.
Yep, Bailey.
Yeah, I'll say.
I mean, she's been getting her ass whooped for like 2 months straight since I've gotten into it.
Yeah, it was like I said this last time too. Like, I don't know what you do with a Bailey if she doesn't win this. She doesn't have a place to go.
Because she just got her ass whooped, so then she's gonna lose on this big stage. Like, this is her first solo Mania appearance, from what I've collected.
I think you might be right.
So that's like a big deal, and a lot of people were really, from what I was gauging, were pretty cool with her winning the Rumble and having this opportunity. Mm-hmm. And the Damage Control store has actually been good in the way that it's connected now with like Bianca and Naomi and now Jade, and that's cool. Like, I think that there's room to grow and things that you can do with that. I think you have more possibilities there than you probably do have in some other areas, and so that's good, and it's kept me engaged. So I think Bailey wins, but I don't think it's without, unless we have some fuckery. We could have some fuckery because that's all that we've seen so far. So it's still kind of up in the air, but I don't see it going any other way, honestly.
I'm not current on the storyline. I got to take you guys' word for it.
Yeah, catch up on that, man.
I had said I wanted to see Bailey come out because she's a face now. I want to see her come out with like the old music, like the NXT music.
Oh and the wailing inflatable.
The waving inflatable. I would kill for that.
That'd be kind of cool, dude.
Just fun.
I remember saying last time too. I'm done with Bayley. Listen, I wrote her off years ago, and it's because I was watching the product enough that I got tired of them not doing anything with her. And now that they finally are, I guess I'm just like too little too late. But maybe she'll win, and maybe I'll pay more attention to her after she wins. If she loses, though, I'm going to continue to pay next to no attention at all.
Fair enough.
So what do we got? Seth and Drew next.
It's got to be Drew.
I think we all feel the same way. It's Drew.
It's got to be Drew.
Yeah.
Drew,
I think
baby.
not that it really propels him forward more. I think that Seth needs to change more. That's more important for the industry.
He needs his journey now.
Yeah,
and this is
he
where
needs
he's
a new gimmick, dude.
And this is a great opportunity. It's not really. I think it's just like them rebooting Seth. In some ways, I think he goes through a lot of shit here. And then maybe possibly his wife is going to probably chill out. I think it's just like it's going to be interesting because we talked about Cody. What does he do once he gets what he's been chasing after? Okay, well, what does Seth do when he lost everything? Does him and Roman reconnect? Is there like weird sympathy for each other? I don't know. That would be interesting. Or do you really just need to see some of these individuals alone? And so, but I think it'll be good. I think it'll be really good, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think Drew's going to kill it.
Do me a favor and Google White Ranger Seth Rollins.
Actually,
okay.
Yeah.
And just look at what you see.
He's spitting there.
I want him to lose so I can get that back.
Seth.
I meant Google it, but yeah, you can pull up YouTube too.
Wait. I need to know what White Ranger Seth Green is, by the way. Hold on.
I don't know if a YouTube video is gonna show it to you. I just meant like just straight up Google it to see the images.
Yeah.
Yeah, these none of these videos are even showing it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be in one of these, but yeah.
Not like none of this.
Yeah,
is
the
what
Game
I'm
of Thrones
talking
one. Yeah.
I'll Google it. I will Google it. Let me see.
Yeah, Google it and you'll see in the images exactly what I'm talking about immediately because I Googled it before I asked you.
Mm-hmm.
I need it back, dude.
Oh, does he actually wear the fucking helmet?
He doesn't wear the helmet, dude. But tell me he doesn't look cool wearing like the white and the gold.
Yeah,
Powerful look.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this! Look at this waffle. Look at this waffle over here. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Well, even if you don't like that one, there's a version that's black with gold lines.
Bro doesn't know culture.
I mean, kind of cool, but it's such a contrast.
With the white belt.
That's so good, dude. That's so drippy.
Does he like Power Rangers? Is that a thing?
I mean, I don't know if he likes Power Rangers or not.
But
I
think
know
it's a pop culture thing.
What JRatt was referencing earlier, the heist of the century. You could look up Seth Rollins' heist of the century because there he's wearing a black version. Maybe you'll like that.
Yeah. So what about the main event? The main event.
Oh, Cody.
We've all got Cody.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Roman, but okay. I'm just kidding.
Darn.
It's got to be Cody. Again, burn the building down if it's Roman.
Dude,
I think
this whole place went crazy when Seth Rollins ran down.
Oh my god, that crowd is bananas right there. Mike Chioda, he's cashing in. Just do it, Mike. Come on.
So what are the rules to Money in the Bank?
Anytime, anywhere, you get a referee out there, and baby, the challenge is on.
Yep.
I think the only stipulation these days is you have to be in a wrestling ring.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say I'm not even 100% sure about that.
That's one of those that is a rule when they need it to be a rule.
Right.
But yeah, so here the match wasn't over yet, so he turned it into a triple threat. He inserted himself.
Dude, he played it like a Yu-Gi-Oh trap card.
Exactly. I summoned Pot of Greed.
Yeah, literally.
3 cards.
But you see how he's wearing black and gold pants here, Lucas? He has a top that matches with that.
Okay, yeah, he looks cool here.
See the gold streak in his hair? Dude, I need a gold streak back, please.
Yeah, you need to see him try to do the curb stomp earlier in the night and get RKO'd out of it by Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
is such a
god,
sick spot.
Dude, this was
Jesus.
great. This was great. This was really good.
Oh
This
my
was
god.
And in
good.
this moment, the crowd saw the thing we wanted, which was not Roman winning.
Yes, dude. This was such a
Wow.
because I used to like legit have parties around WrestleMania.
Look at the
like,
shock on people's faces.
I know, dude.
They
Like for
were
me,
like,
for me and my
"Holy
friends,
shit."
some people get their friends over and watch football games. Some people get their friends over and watch boxing or hockey games. We would watch like big WWE.
Oh man, that's why I'm like, dude, this is look, I'm going to enjoy this game, or not this game. Holy shit, this match with
dude.
some people, but
Treat WrestleMania like a Super Bowl, and you'll
That's
never
what I'm
go
gonna do.
wrong, dude.
Exactly.
You'll
what I'm
never
gonna
go
do.
wrong.
that's what I'm gonna do.
Get some snacks, make a whole. You know what I'm saying? You'll never go
Yeah,
wrong
for
doing
sure.
that. That's what I'm gonna do, dude. Make a day of it. You know, order a pizza, get a pizza in here.
That's what. Oh yes,
All right. Well, there we have it.
yeah, that's it. Cool. Well,
Now we settle it in the ring.
yeah. Any last thoughts?
Should be a great Mania, man. It's a good card.
I mean, listen, they say it every year, and I'm sure I'm a prisoner of the moment, but like I said it before, I don't know that there's been a WrestleMania that's been like this hype up, before it happens. This is gonna be a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's stacked, dude. It is stacked from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend.
You're
dude.
so lucky, Wonder. You're so lucky,
It's true.
man. Like, fuck you.
Hey, man, what are you talking? Don't disrespect me like that on my.
It's literally like if someone had never played Final Fantasy before and they're getting into the series, and you're like, dude, you have so much good shit. Dude.
That's cool, man.
Like they've never played 7 or 6 or any of that.
Mhm.
I hope for you guys who have been a fan that you get as much joy out of it that I think a lot of people, including myself, more than likely will get. I don't think everything will hit. I don't think I think it would be unfair to expect everything to. There's got to be something on that list of matches that just doesn't hit. But who knows, man? I'm very optimistic. I'm very excited, man. I'm. It's been a while since I've been hyped for something like this, and have been as invested into something like this as I have, to the point that we're doing what we've been doing this week. I mean, it's just been a real pleasure to get you guys on here and geek out about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I geek out as much as I can. My mom bought me a WrestleMania 40 t-shirt.
Let's go.
That's badass, dude. That's badass.
It's like
I cannot imagine my mother.
It's like I
Yeah,
wore
I
it to the
wish,
gym
man.
today, so I didn't but she's like, oh, I wanted you to get it right before WrestleMania. She keeps, she'll be like, did you see Roman Reigns on Jimmy Fallon last night? It's like, oh yeah.
That's
incredible. Yeah, she watches it because she likes to watch Pat McAfee, so she'll watch Pat McAfee, and now there's a connection there.
That's crazy that we've come so far that people's mothers know who Roman Reigns is. Dude,
right?
Oh yeah,
product
it's
is-
crazy.
The product is so. I feel like
It's wild.
Zoolander. That WWE is so hot right now.
so hot right now. So hot.
I mean, look, dude, I'm telling you, it's so crazy how things happen. I mean, that house show kicked it off for me, man. I have a winter tour shirt. I was like, I need to get something from this to remember this. I took as many pictures and videos that I could. It was so dope. And now to have retrospect and know that Becky Lynch was out there, Cody Rhodes was out there. There's a lot of names and people that I'm seeing at this WrestleMania 40 that I saw a few months ago, and I was in the same building with them. And there's some kind of weird connection that gets created when you do that. And I went on for a long time just saying, man, it's like, seeing it live was just different for me. And then maybe that's what it took. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's been really cool to celebrate this being like my first true WrestleMania experience, and to have been watching Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown for the last couple of months consistently, and just getting, taken on this journey that these characters, these, athletes, these all these stories. It's just been, man, that's wild. That's where I'm most invested. It's like the stories, and it's been really, really cool,
about, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
so
you
fun.
know what? We never mean it. And I know JRatt agrees. We never, when we say, you know, we really do mean like we're envious of you for being new to the
Right.
product.
Oh, for sure.
It's a very genuine thing, because there's a lot of, when you've watched, and I can feel it. Me and JRatt have the same sickness. We've been watching this shit for it's a part of us now. Even when we don't watch it, we peek to see what's going on, like a jealous neighbor on the other side of the fence. But like, you know, there's a little bit of jadedness baked in to watching it for this long, just like doing anything for a long amount of time. You're gonna have time periods you went through where you hated it, you came back to it, and that's where I am. I'm coming back to it. So I really am envious that, you know, you're getting into it at such a good time. You had a great house show experience. It's a dream, dude. I mean, because wrestling is just that thing that I think more and more people, as we went on here, have realized, oh wait, this shit's really cool. And I can focus on like I can go back as far as like the 80s and the 70s and still find cool matches in the West. And then if I feel like it on a random Sunday, I can watch Okada matches from Japan and watch, you know, Kenny Omega come out dressed as Sephiroth.
Is everywhere.
Content is everywhere. It's been going on for like 50 years. And contrary to some things, that 50 years is full of badass stuff, man. A lot of cool shit happened in wrestling, period, all the time, every year, even way far back. You watch Hogan and Andre, you see him slam him. Dude, that's still pretty cool.
That building's bananas for that. Yeah.
Dude, the ring shakes. It's still pretty
cool. That translates. A crowd going bananas for stuff like that, that translates whether it's 1992 or what, you know.
Right, because it's just like if you go back and watch an old Tyson fight or something, you know, when someone gets knocked out, crowd goes crazy. When Hogan slams Andre, the crowd loses their mind. They've never in their lives seen anything as cool as what they're. And wrestling is full of those moments.
Yeah,
there's years and years. You could go for years catching up on this product, dude. And it's all good shit. Like there's been some bad times for sure, man. But especially right now, it's just a really great time to be watching the product. No matter what you're watching, it's a great time for wrestling. It really is.
Yeah. And it's like we've mentioned, there's NXT, there's AEW, there's like wrestling that
TNA. TNA is doing okay right now.
There was a
much better than they've been for a decade.
That is true.
Well, I've heard that there's rumors going around that they want to kind of work with the WWE a little bit, and
I've also heard those rumors, and I've heard that Triple H is open to it. I've heard that Nick Namath / Dolph Ziggler has kind of been helping in that department.
For sure.
Wow, I wonder, that'd be cool. That might be fun. I'm not too familiar with TNA, but that's what's so cool, man. Is like I understand why people like these other options, these other brands. I mean, I get it. It's like why I like the UFL. It's like, you know, I like the NFL. I love college, but there's like you can still find different shades of something you like and love, and that you know, and maybe they're doing it just a little bit different or something that's fresh, and it's okay to take a break from something and come back to it, dude.
Like, can I real quick tell you about something you'll probably never hear about because of the projection with wrestling? You know who Sting is, right? Okay, you probably weren't watching TNA during the period where he became Joker Sting. Does that mean anything to you?
I've heard of Joker Sting. I've heard of
Joker Sting. Now, was it the best thing in the world? I'm not saying that. Was it entertaining though? You bet your ass Joker Sting was entertaining. Absolutely. It was so funny. And I got to send you a clip of Jay Lethal arguing with Ric Flair, and they have a woo off because Jay Lethal's Ric Flair impersonation is spot on, and Rick gets furious when he hears it. Because he can't, he's so pissed. It's so good, dude. I gotta send you that. Just like you said, there are tons of these moments, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. So it should be a good weekend. We really hope that everybody who's taken the time to listen to this episode and join in on this conversation, you know, we hope that you guys enjoy your WrestleMania experience, regardless of when and how you're gonna watch it. I know I'm going to buckle in this weekend. I don't know about these guys. I think, well, you guys mentioned you're going to be chilling. You're going to, you know, make an event, you know, and yeah, man. So just want to say as we wrap up everything, thank you guys for being on the show again, dude. Like, I really do appreciate that. I hope we get to do this more often. I know we are still hopefully in plans to do a post 40. And if we can do that, that would be awesome, because it'd be just really fun to just
if we're down to re-record a 3-hour podcast, then we're down to do a post.
Okay, all right, man. You never know, man. It's
the cost benefit analysis.
Yeah,
would stay.
Okay,
at this point, it's sunken cost fallacy, so we have to do it because we've invested this.
Well, no, I'm just really happy that you guys are enjoying this, and I hope everyone who's listening and watching this on YouTube or wherever, like, you guys enjoy this type of conversation too, and we want to hear from you guys. So we know that, hey, we got 3 different people's opinions that have different tastes and different backgrounds when it comes to the WWE, wrestling, sports, entertainment, whatever, and so it's always fun to open up these conversations to people listening and watching. So please reach out on socials and definitely take time to check out each of these individuals. Which way are they? Right. Okay. Right here. These guys right here. Check them out, because they're very talented, very cool guys that are doing some really cool and awesome stuff. So I'm going to give them an opportunity to quickly pitch what they do. And then, just so that you guys know, if you want to check out JRatt or Fross of Ghost Planet Studios, you can do so by checking out the description of this episode below, or I don't know where it is on podcasts. Sometimes you have to go through some loops and ladders and shit like that.
It says see more.
Probably. Okay, see more. There you go. So yeah. So with that being said, whoever wants to go first, JRatt, you want to start us off? We'll go.
Sure. JRatt Gaming is me on Twitch. That's mainly what I do. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. The vibes are immaculate. We're pretty chill. I like to play mostly JRPGs, but I do a lot. I'll play stuff with the community and kind of all over the place. Whatever I'm feeling. And the conversation gets just as all over the place as that too. JRatt 14 on Twitter if you would like some just stupid things to read throughout your day. I can give you that there too.
Yeah, man.
All right. Yo, I'm Fross from Ghost Planet Studios, and I'm going to tell you right now, my content is eclectic and weird as shit. There's a mix of a lot of things over the years, and you can tell I'm inspired a lot by Daft Punk because it's all very out there. We're active on Facebook, where we post a lot of nostalgic memes from shows you might remember, like Pepper Ann, Dexter's Lab, Hey Arnold, that type of thing. And intermixed with all of that are long-form e-novels about a planet called Penumbra, and it's all really deep sci-fi with tons of characters and unique artwork and things like that. We just released a City of Heroes tie-in comic because that game came back after 20 years. And we do quirky stuff like that all the time. There is a YouTube channel where a lot of that stuff ends up. It's not really a main focus, but there's lots of stuff there. There's audio dramas there. Our interview with Mark Laidlaw of the Half-Life series and the Dragon Age series is there. He actually enjoys our audio dramas, so I'm going to shamelessly plug that. So go give him a listen. Always be plugging. They've been compared to Ready Player One, a lot of other cool things. It's very sci-fi vibe. So check us out on Facebook, on Spotify, on Apple Music. On Instagram. We don't do a lot on Twitter, but we're pretty much active everywhere. If you find one of our platforms, if you find one of our platforms, you can find all the other platforms. So just take a look. I think you'll like some of what you see.
Yeah, sorry, it took me a minute to pull it up, man. I'm getting used to this. I'm using StreamYard to do this episode. So any feedback from anybody, would love that. But as you can see on the screen, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out Ghost Planet on Facebook, man.
Yeah, we had a really fun day for April Fools. I changed everything to be clips from The Room. The cover was Tommy Wiseau screaming at the top of his lungs. And as you can see, so I go through and I make a lot of these memes in Adobe Premiere and things like that. And it really is just quick hit little clips from all the shows we love, dude. And the thing that's been so wonderful, we actually just hit 95K yesterday, followers. The thing that's so wonderful about it is when I'm posting 4 or 5 times a day, it's like a TV channel that's on in the background. Every time you pick up your phone and check the app and scroll, a new show, quote unquote, is on. And I've experimented with Reels. You can see we've done some streams there. We've got a couple episodes of our podcasts. And, it's a very big smattering of content, and it's all very eclectic. But we've got a really tight community over here, and they kind of vibe with all the weird stuff we do. And I think you guys really enjoyed it. We've got people who've been following us for 6 years, and they've been fans the whole time. And, we love them to death. So check it out.
Damn, guys. Appreciate everybody. That's going to be it for this episode, guys. Hopefully you will hear from us again when it comes down to not CM Punk's future. I'm sorry. But for post WrestleMania 40, I really would like to start a separate series that, we just talk about wrestling, and that would be really fun. That's something I'm really, committed to doing in some form or fashion. I haven't decided weekly. Yeah, it's a fantastic time to do it, man.
Perfect time to do it.
It's fantastic.
And any of you out there listening, if you love wrestling as much as we do, I'm just giving you some advice. One platform running to the other. You start a wrestling podcast right now. Right now. Right now. Just like before the pandemic, those of us who started a podcast and rode that wave are glad we did. This is a wave right now. Wrestling's hot right now. Start a podcast, ride the wave, get a platform. I'm done.
Mic drop. Well, hey, thank you guys for listening and watching this episode of Wonder Soul. Like I said, check out these guys in the description of this episode, and feel free to share this episode if you think of anyone else that that might like what we've talked about in this episode, whether it was wrestling or anything else that we brought up. And that's going to be it for us today. Enjoy WrestleMania 40. It should be a good one. And until the next time we talk, you guys do well. Take care.
Wonder Soul. Wonder Soul.
Wonder Soul.